And we are live in the Halloween universe. What's up there, people? We're here with Joe and Brett. Our fearless leader, Michael, is under the weather, so he's not going to be hanging with us tonight, unfortunately. He's threatened to be in the chat, so if anybody's spamming, it'll probably be him. But what's been going on? Brett, introduce yourself. I know I can see everything behind you, and I've seen some of your stuff, so I know you're a hell of a collector. So Brett will be our guest tonight.
Yeah. I kind of have a similar story to yours, Patrick. I was born in 81. My brother took me or got me into watching it when I was 7 years old. I saw the first one and my it was right before Halloween 4 came out. So I saw the first one, and at 7 years old, it's kind of a shock to the system. Then the second one, we watched the second one. And we're like, oh, well, I guess he's dead. And then 2 months later, after seeing it, I see a preview for Halloween 4. And, that was before the internet. You didn't know when there was a new one coming out. And he took me to see Halloween 4 at the theater with his friends. Then we saw Halloween 5, and the rest is history.
Wow. Yeah, it's cool when people come on and they tell the story the first time. And it's weird because I'm seeing more and more people whose introduction was Halloween 4. Was that you too, Joe?
Yep. Same here.
Yeah, and so is Michael. Yeah, I think it was him too. You know what it is? Because it's scary because I'm the old man of the group now because my introduction was Halloween in 1980. It wasn't even 78, but yeah, it seems like more and more people I'm meeting who are hardcore collectors like yourself are coming in around Halloween 4, which is cool.
Yeah, it's funny that like I've gone to each of the conventions except for the 30th or 35th. I missed that. My kid was being born that week. Thank God I didn't go to that. Otherwise, the missus would have been upset.
You wouldn't be here right now.
I wouldn't be here right now. Yeah. And when I went to the 25th, and they have that 25 years of terror documentary, you could see how small it was. But when you were there, you're like, there's a lot of fans, and it kept on growing and growing each convention. And yeah, and if they do H45, it's at a much bigger place. And like we were talking in the chat before, I'm sure you're looking forward to hope if it happens, you'll go. Everybody will go.
Well, I couldn't make it to the H40 or the 25th. Yeah, because I'm. Where are you located, Brett?
I'm in suburban Chicago.
Okay, so you're like midway. Yeah, I'm on the northeast Pennsylvania, so I'm way on the other side, and it's kind of hard to take that kind of trip. It's not that hard, but when I tell my wife, yeah, I want to go to a Halloween convention, she's like, no, you don't.
6-hour flight for you, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long flight, but I told her, I said, the 45th, if they put it together and have it, I'm going. If I have to go by myself, I'm going because I missed the 40.
Well, and yeah, and our group has gotten so big now. There's so many people you can just interact with.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I could talk to anybody. I'm one of those people that just, my wife's always like grabbing me by the arm. Come on, shut up. Let's go. Keep moving. I can talk to anybody. And I've met a lot of people at conventions, and I've seen people. It's even weird. Which convention was I? Oh, sorry. I was in one of the PA.
You've gone to Monster Mania, you've said, right?
I've been to Monster Mania, but there was one. It was like I think there's a horror sideshow market in Pennsylvania, which is right outside of Allentown. I went to that one, and somebody came and tapped me on the shoulder, and they recognized my face from the group because we weren't doing this yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, I love the collectors group. You got a great collection. I'm like, great. Then I walked away thinking to myself, I'm like, I never put my face on there, so you obviously stalked my profile.
Maybe you know me.
Yeah, I'm like, it was cool, but a little creepy. I'm like, why are you looking at me? Believe me, there's nothing to see here. Believe me. But yeah, it was definitely weird, But now everybody knows what we look like, so now we're all in trouble.
Yeah, but it's a great way to interact now, and I think you're seeing this a lot more since the pandemic too. It's like I was never really on Facebook that much. I just opened Instagram up this week, so I'm kind of new to the party. So I'll be sure to follow you on that then. Because I saw how you listed put all your pictures up on that. That's what I probably should do with all my stuff. I haven't really taken a good inventory. When you have that much.
And like I told everybody, I said, I've had people. I constantly get messages from people asking me prices. They think it's all for sale.
Oh,
and I'm like, no. I said it's twofold because people would say, because I like looking at other people's collections. I love to see all the cool shit people have, and I thought, why don't I put mine up there? Like I said, I stole the idea from John 5 because, like I said, in other podcasts, I'm a huge Kiss fan. I used to be a huge Kiss collector, so I followed John 5's Kiss collection. Is probably the biggest in the world, and that's what he does. He puts something up every day, And I thought to myself, like, I go out and I forget some of the shit that I have. So I'm like, if I keep it there, like I've been at conventions and I'm like, wow, do I have this? I go on there, I scroll through and I'm like, oh, yep, there it is. I don't have to buy it. Unlike Michael, who's probably in the chat, kept saying he's like, I got double and triples of things. Says I'll forget what I have, and then I'm like, oh shit, I have this.
I always use Michael as an example because, like, everybody's like, "Wow, you got to have the most in this country." I'm like, "No, you haven't seen nothing until you see this guy."
Yes, yes, yeah. I've told people, and they're like, "Wow, you got a big kids collection." I said,
So,
I mean, kids, not kids,
yeah,
a big Halloween collection.
it's
I'm
quite
like,
the thing. Now, he'll,
not that big. I said, yeah. I said, you want to see a big one? I'll show you. Well, that doesn't sound good. You want to see a big one? I'll show you a big one. You want to see a big Halloween collection? I'm like, I point them right at Michael. I'm like, that's the guy right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. You walk in there and because y'all you haven't been there, right, Pat? You haven't been there.
No, I think I've
You,
been talking about trying to make a pilgrimage out that way.
yeah, because the interesting about that is I actually I grew up there. I graduated from Converse Judson in high school, and Converse is where his shop is at. So for the fact that I grew up there, I graduated there, and there's this shop there that has all that. It's like a
The perfect storm.
It's a perfect story. It's a perfect type of deal, man. It was really really cool. Like when I first walked in, I was just taken over by how much stuff there was, man. You can't take it all in on one trip. Like you have to literally break it up into pieces and enjoy it for what it really is. It's pretty impressive, man. And not to mention he's such a cool ass dude that he welcomes you with open arms. And it's a fucking badass shop, man. I was like, damn, I got to step my game up. Like this shit is impressive, man. It's real nice, real nice.
All right, so you're pretty close to it now, then, Joe. Still, right? Driving distance, I guess, or
Yeah. I live over here by the medical center. I work at the VA hospital. I used to live closer that way. My mother
okay.
still does. But for me, if I get over there, I'd probably get over there in like 20, 25 minutes with no traffic. But it's not that far. And it's in a location where if you come and visit, they got some good spots where you can stay. It's not bad.
Now you bought the recent set from 20 years ago, the one NECA box set, right?
I did the night he came home. Yes, I did. I, y'all talking about y'all's collection and I'm in that process of I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to get kind of anxious because I want to catalog everything,
Right.
and I'm getting to that point where I'm already looking at it as an insurmountable task. Like I'm like, how do I do it? Do I use a PDF? What do I use? A spreadsheet? Do I just take pictures of everything? Do I write it in a notebook? Like what do I do? I don't want to get to that point where it's so big of a collection, if I'm ever blessed to get to that point, that I don't have a track of what the hell I got. I can't do that. My OCD won't let me do that, man.
That's one of the main reasons I did that, because same thing. Like I'm like, oh, do I do like an Excel spreadsheet or some type
Yeah.
of PDF? But I just didn't have the time because I started doing it. It's got to be 2, 3 years now. When I started, I'm like, I don't have time for this. But I'm like, you know what? Like I said, like John 5, I'll just take a picture of it. It takes 2 seconds to take a picture and pop it up there and you're done.
A question I had just being a newer collector for insurance purposes, not a novice collectors don't realize that, this stuff isn't really, covered under regular insurance.
Right.
Right.
So you got to go out and get some collector's insurance. And I'm starting to get to that point where I've been inquiring, asking around. Do y'all have any, recommendations? Do y'all have that? Or do y'all just kind of, nah?
I used to have it on my Kiss collection years ago, and there are companies out there, and it was funny because I had it on my Kiss collection, and I keep saying I got to get it on this collection, and it's funny you brought that up because we were talking about doing some remodeling, and I'm like, I really should get, God forbid something ever happened.
Yes.
It just, at least you get your money back. You're not going to ever get it back, but at least you get what you put into it. And quick before Gabriel's asking in the chat. Gabriel, if you didn't log on when we first came on, Mike's out today because he wasn't feeling well. He wasn't feeling up to being on. He's been sick for a couple of days. So he's supposed to be joining us in the chat, but yeah, he's got to rest up before the auction on Friday night.
I had some experience at doing it, or checking. I had an appraiser come. I go to the sports memorabilia shows we have here by the airport in Chicago, and I was referred to somebody. I brought him over. My second passion is McFarlane sport figures. I get those autographed. I have close to like 200 of those autographs.
Oh, wow.
So,
Nice.
yeah, it's a real big collection. It's in another room here, but I had a guy come out that was referred to me from the show, and they just wanted to buy this. They were trying to make offers. So I kind of looked away from doing that, but I should try to find somebody that wouldn't do that. it was kind of all peer pressure. I was like, no, sorry,
Yeah.
it's not for sale.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I've thinking about, and I could kick myself because I haven't. Yeah, I've had this stuff for a long time, and then when I sold the Kiss stuff, I still had it for a while, and then I just let it lapse because at that time we were just moving from an apartment to our house,
Mhm.
and I just never got around to it. And I'm like, look, and it's funny you brought that up. I'm like, yeah, one of these days I really should because, man, I'm gonna lose a lot of freaking money. God forbid something
Yeah.
happens.
I don't mean to go off the subject. Did you ever have the original Barbies of the Kiss dolls? My cousin had them, and I guess they're worth a lot.
Oh, they're worth, especially if they're still in the box. They were Mego dolls, and if you have them in the
Ego
box
dolls.
with
Wow.
decent boxes, you're probably gonna, if you have them, you're definitely $1,200 or more for the set. Oh, the Kiss. Well, that was one of the main reasons. Like, I always had, like I said, the old adage, the old story is there was no Halloween collectibles back in the 80s. There was nothing. So I had some, some small stuff that I found at like horror conventions because they had like the Chiller Theater Convention, which started in New Jersey. I used to live in New Jersey, and I had always collected Kiss stuff from the 70s. I was always a big Kiss fan, and I had so much stuff. And then when they got back together in '96, they flooded the market with crap. The prices on the stuff doubled, tripled, quadrupled. So it's like I couldn't afford to buy anything. I'm like, you would look at like a collectible pen from 1978 cost you $500 for a pen. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't compete with this anymore. And right around that time, we were having my son and everything. And I said, you know what? Maybe and then same thing popped in my head. I'm like, wow, these prices are doubling and tripling. So I figured I sold it, made a lot of money on it. And I just basically just kept what I had Halloween wise because it really wasn't much. Like I said, until early 90s in Spencer's, the only thing you could find were the VHS tapes, laser discs, beta tapes,
Suncoast,
the posters, Suncoast.
Suncoast. Yeah.
There wasn't really much, until Spencer's really started putting the PMG stuff out, which actually, if we'll get on our usual anybody get anything in this week thing, I'll go first. And I actually landed this from 1999, an original PMG costume.
Oh yeah, nice,
complete with blood packet and knife.
nice.
So
that's awesome.
So these were in Spencer's back in 1999, and that's when they started putting a lot of the stuff out. So I'll run through real quick so we can keep chatting. I got that. I don't know if you guys are fans of the band Ghost.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of Ghost?
Yeah.
Well, they have a really cool, like, I forget what it, blood red 7-inch vinyl of the song that they have at the end of Halloween Kills.
Oh, sweet.
So if you look, I'm trying to get close to the camera, it says, it's from Halloween Kills.
Oh.
On blood red vinyl. And if you look at the back, it's
nice.
It's got the Halloween theme on the back too.
Oh, cool.
Halloween Kills theme, I should say. So I saw that. I was like, ooh, I got to get that because I love old vinyl. Any vinyl. I'm a
that was in the end credits, right? They played that, right?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And this was cool. I don't know if you guys ever go on Discogs. We think about vinyl.
That was the first. You brought it up a few shows ago, and that was the first time I ever heard of that. I got to go check that out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like old vinyl cassettes, I think they have some laser discs, some stuff like that. But from all over the world, all different variations. That's basically a giant database, but people sell on there. So you can use it as a reference point, and you can find stuff. You can create search lists. So if you're searching for something, you can set up a search list. It'll let you know that, boom, somebody's selling one, and you can go check it out. So I've had this forever, and it never popped up, but it popped up on eBay like 2 weeks ago. It's the Halloween cassette.
Oh, wow.
I just found one.
But this is the Columbia Record House version. I don't know if you guys, I don't know what your age groups are, but I don't know if you remember the old, what do you call it? The record clubs. You get like 10 CDs for
when you
1
started,
cent.
right?
Oh yeah. That's all.
So back in the 70s and early 80s, they would put their own versions out because it was cheaper. So that's actually what this is. So if you look on the side, let me see. right next to where it says soundtrack, there's CRC, Columbia Record Club.
CRC.
So it's just basically, it's like no frills version. That's why the cover just looks like they just took a picture and slapped it on a piece of paper.
Yeah, that's not something you see every day. Yeah, see, that's the one I've got from.
Right. Yeah. That's the first release.
Okay.
There's that release and there's 2 other ones. There's 2 other versions, 3 other versions because this one is included as well. So there's 3 other versions. So I believe I have them all because this was the only one I never saw.
Yeah.
Nice pickup, dude. Damn.
And those are the 3 things that I got in. You guys get anything in this week?
I got a couple things, but they weren't Halloween-esque. I got a cool Texas Chainsaw Massacre little collectible truck, and I'll grab that. And I got a couple things actually. I'll be right back.
You gotta be excited for the movie on Netflix on Friday. I'm looking forward to checking it out.
This was a big pickup for the movie. Yeah, it was pretty neat. Let me go get it.
It premieres this Friday, right?
Yeah. It actually looks pretty good. Some people were nervous about it, I think, but of course I give it a shot.
I'll watch it either way. Is it gonna? Like I said, nothing will rival the first one for me, of course. But I'm not a very picky person. I mean, the movie's got to really, really suck for me. You know, I'm easily pleased if it's cool. It's got some cool kills. I'm all in. So
I got to put something together. I know you guys have been talking about, but this is the NECA base of the Loomis and Myers thing.
Oh,
number
nice.
143 is 750.
Holy smokes!
I got it when it first came out. I just didn't have any space now that I finished my basement. So there's like the big Loomis there.
Yep, there he is.
That was dope, dude. I got this truck right here. It was I can't really show.
The truck from the end of the movie, right?
Yes, it was the bloody version, and the box was in great shape. I mean, phenomenal shape, and the artwork on the back is really neat. Pretty cool. I can get it right on my camera.
Actually,
that's awesome.
Let me see if I get very savvy with this and play around with the size here. Let's see. I can bring people forward, I think.
And I've been waiting for this puppy, the NECA Mummy, the original. Finally waited to get this bad boy, and it finally came in.
Very nice.
Right. But yeah, just a couple pickups, but nothing major.
They're doing really good with the packaging on stuff now, NECA, more than ever.
Man, they know how to get you, man. They know how to hook, line, and sinker you.
I got a couple things here. I told Patrick, thank you for this. Let me know about that.
Oh, the bendies, yeah.
You guys got that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Horror Hound in Cincinnati. I might have Dick Warlock sign it. Looks like a decent one for him to sign. So
oh, nice.
Might have to do that. And fun.com. I got these slippers, the other ones.
Nice.
I got to pick those up. Yeah. Was it you that was asking me about how they fit?
You got the other ones. These ones are pretty wide-footed. So if you got wide feet, yeah.
I do. That's why the other ones, I don't even wear them. I actually bought 2 because of course I'm going to wear one and one's going to stay in the collection. So now I got 2 sets, and the ones I'm like trying to squeeze my feet, and I'm just going to tear them. So I'm like, you know what? I better just stop wearing them.
Yeah, I think you might give these a shot too. I think these are actually cheaper too.
They were. Oh. And at the time I ordered them, they didn't have them available yet. So I'm like, I'll get the other one, because I would have just got them too. Because let's face it, we're Halloween junkies. I would have got both of them, but they didn't have it at the time. But yeah, I got to go back on there and pick those up because it's funny because I always wear slippers around the house. I'm like I said, if I ever make it to retirement, I'll be like Hugh Hefner. I'll be in my pajamas and slippers walking around
cigar robe
all day, all day long. I said, that's it. I'll be living in my pajamas.
Well, I think, I don't know if you saw they're making their own Converse shoes. I pre-ordered those to see. There's 2 different kinds. One that's got like all the designs like these slippers, but then there's one with just Myers on it. Those are supposed to be coming out this month, so we'll see how they fit. They were like $40.
Exactly, and I've been not slowing down. Like if something really cool pops up, I'll be grabbing it. Because I'm waiting for the onslaught of stuff that's going to come when I start ramping up for Halloween ends.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just going to come fast and it's going to come furious.
Yeah. And, if you end up going to, you'd be traveling on a plane. It's hard to bring a lot of stuff back, but there was a lot of stuff that I could have grabbed. And not everything was overly priced there, too. Oh, who's that?
I had to share this little find. This lady she was customizing these downtown. and I was like, that has got to be the coolest thing I've ever seen. So pretty cool, man. I just thought I'd show y'all that. I picked
That's
this
cool
up
as
like
hell.
this past weekend.
That's really cool. Oh man. I don't know if you guys watch the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. It's Frank and
Yeah.
Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
love those
real
guys.
good guys. I don't know if you saw the last one they had, but Frank had these nutcrackers that were made from somebody on Etsy.
I saw that.
Look at
Yeah.
those. Those look so cool.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
before
watching
I
those
forget, I
guys.
got this from some guy's auction on Friday, some pinball place.
Oh, some asshole. Now we won't even talk about him.
Some asshole.
We're not even bringing him up tonight.
No.
I know, right?
Well, if that didn't get him in the chat, I don't know what will. So maybe he's not in the chat.
Well, I'll say that's gangster, so I got it there for him. So,
And it's funny because, you know, on Friday nights, it's, you know, because this is like set up downstairs in my like a finished basement area,
Mhm.
and my wife is usually upstairs watching TV. But every time we have the auctions, she comes downstairs,
Make sure you ain't spending money.
and it's always if I see something I
there,
want,
Joe, I'm there with that too.
Yeah,
like
me too,
he'll bring
man.
something out I have,
Yeah.
and she'll walk away. When something I see, I wouldn't mind getting that. Boom, she comes and sits back down. I'm like,
That's funny to me, man. You're like, go back up, go over there, go to the room, Please.
Why do I hear pinball machines?
Oh, it's yeah.
It's just
I found it interesting that little competitive nature we had going on. Those guys are going back and forth. Did you?
With the
do you
one
know?
statue, right?
Yeah, they were really talking trash. I like that.
oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I was like, okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
that got a little awkward. Yeah, because I didn't catch it, and then Michael said something like, "Okay."
Yeah, they were really talking. I don't know if they know each other, or whatnot, but I was like, it kind of made it more fun in a way. I mean, within reason, you don't want to get too
Right.
carried away. But I was like, oh, okay, it's making this interesting. Why
When
are
you
you
put
worried
that out there, I was anticipating that because that's not a cheap statue. I don't have that statue, but I know it's not cheap now.
Which
You
one
know-
statue was it? I don't remember now. I remember
Is
that. I
it
remember.
Nancy?
It's what he's carrying. It's one of those.
Annie. Where he's carrying Annie, right?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. The cinema screams.
Cinema
Yes.
streams,
It's
yeah.
actually right. It's right there. You can sort of
Oh yeah,
see.
there it is.
You can see the corner of the
You can
box.
see him
Yeah, you got
carrying
the
her.
box. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see that.
He's right up there.
I had a question because I try to consider myself an inbox collector, but sometimes when you find things, the boxes are never in the best of shape, so you never know who you're gonna see it against. So you just buy it. Are you over the years? Have you gotten less picky, more picky? Like, because I freak out about boxes, man, and I
I'm picky as all hell.
you're picky as hell. Okay,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought stuff and then I've upgraded down the road if I saw it better.
got it. Okay, so that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just me. All right.
No.
I'd be with you guys too. It really depends too, but yeah, mostly anything Halloween related, it's got to be pristine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because some things I don't care about, but yeah, certain things. If I'm gonna spend the money, I want it to be top notch for sure.
Well, like we were busting Patrick's balls about the hook thing on it, but I agree with that too. It's just it's like, oh geez, it's I'm
Yeah.
with
Oh.
him on that.
And the same thing. Like when I got it out and I was showing my wife, she's like, "So it's just to hang it up." I go, "It's part of the box. Like
Yeah.
if you were a collector, it's part of the whole package. It's like, if I was going to take it out of the box, I mean, there are people that aren't collectors that are just going to take it out and display it. They don't give a crap. I
Yeah.
go, but honestly, when I on my wall space, I put them all side by side, and that's how they hang. They hang on those things. I said that's going to be up there for like 2 months, and it's going to end up falling off because it was broke.
Yeah.
So and like you said, would you buy a car with a scratch on it?
No.
You bought a brand new. Well, it's got a scratch. So what do you care? I go, sure you care.
You better
course.
bump
I mean,
it out. You better
It's
do
a lot of
$20.
different. It's money I mean, obviously it's monumental money difference, but it doesn't make a difference. You're buying something new. Oh no, I'll just take it damaged. That's okay. No.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Not
on
when
that.
you're putting that money in it.
Yeah. And I'm a patient person. I'm like, all right, I'll send. Because some people just like, I just need no. I'll send it back. You send me a new one. I would rather wait, because then I figured maybe if they send it, I'll hang on to it. I'll try to find one in the stores, but I stopped at a couple of different stores and I just could not find one anywhere. People are like, oh, go to Target. Every time, the only Targets that are near me that I pass by usually on the way to work. Every time I go in the section where those collectibles are, it looks like a tornado hit.
Oh,
Same here in Chicago. Same
Yeah.
thing, Patrick.
There's nothing there. There's shit thrown everywhere. It looks. It's just. I'm like, forget it. Why? I'm not wasting my time.
I think the last set of the neck of the kills figures, I think most people have been seeing them at Walmart. I haven't gotten one yet. I know I'll get one sooner or later. That unless they're going to go high up in value, I'm not.
Which one?
The Halloween Kills one, the NECA one that just came out.
Oh, right. Yeah, and that's what it was. I'm like, and it's funny, and the same thing. I was thinking like, oh, if they give me a hard time about replacing it, after the hoopla of 2018 died down, I saw those 2018 figures everywhere. Like I went and bought 10 of them. So I'm like, I'll wait. No big deal. But then when I sent it back, I'm like, and they were cool about it. Like I don't know, I told the whole story about I got the call from Nightmare Toys. And they're like, well, we don't see the damage. I go, I don't get it unless it magically fixed itself through the postal service. I sent you pictures of what it looked like. And they're like, that's not the one we pulled out. So I'm like, did somebody open a package or did you personally open the package? Maybe you just got set aside and got switched. He's like, no. I said, well, if you don't see that damage that I sent in that picture, throw it in the box and send it back to me. Because that's the one I sent back to you, the one that was damaged. So if it doesn't have that damage, feel free to put it in the box and send it back. And he was cool. He's like, no problem. Just let me know if it's good.
Yeah,
So,
I've developed a little system, like, because I'm very fortunate here, because here I have, honestly, where I live, if you just get on 10 and go around, like, because 604 here is a big old loop, right? And the northwest side of where I live, there is literally about 8 or 9 targets within 10 minutes of each other.
Jeez.
Honestly, I've done it. My record is 7 in a night. I've gotten 7 targets straight. And
wow.
if I pick up one item at one target and the box kind of, iffy, if I find it at another target, I will exchange that bad boy at a different target.
Now
And
that's now in the words of Michael, that's gangster.
that is
Yeah, there
gangster.
you go.
Yes. And the people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm at customer service talking about, I just bought this. I want this one. And it's maybe just a corner or something. They're like, what the hell? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, just do it, please. Just don't even ask questions. Just do it.
I know you don't understand, but please do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And something I don't know if this is y'all, but like if I buy a Target or Walmart or whatever, and you you get anxiety when you hand them the item when they're about to scan it and they treat it like it's nothing.
Mhm.
Boop, boop, and they throw it in a bag and they fling it around and they're like, here you go. I'm like, I'm about to choke you out. You realize I've been looking for that thing for months and you just treated it like it's nothing.
Yeah, you're like John Belushi in Animal House when they break the bottle of JT. You're like, oh
Yeah.
it's like,
Absolutely.
what you doing? It's like, can I throw you in the bag like that?
Yeah. Throw you around for a minute. How about that? Playing with my emotions, okay? You don't play with my emotions. Don't do that.
It's tough with those. You see those at the conventions, and sometimes you'll find it for the same price you get in stores, but most of the time it's just upsell at conventions. That's I like to see it in person before sometimes I'll buy it in the stores, but it's or not online. I wouldn't buy it online as much. I like to see it in person.
Yeah, like me, I'll order like with the pre-orders. If I can really see what it looks like, I'll do the pre-orders. Like with the NECA figures, they're kind of similar, so you kind of know what you're getting. So those are cool to pre-order. But certain other things, sometimes I could get kind of leery and be like, as long as it's not something that you're not going to find again.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like we've talked about this before, about that thing that drives me crazy about collecting these days is everybody going on and buying 20 and 30 of them and everything sells out. Then you go on eBay and they're all selling them for double and they're selling their goddamn pre-orders now. Then if you're waiting to get it in, oh, I got 10 pre-orders. You're selling me your pre-order? So now they have to wait for it to go to them and then for them to ship it to you.
I often wonder that's what happened when the bed sheet NECA came out, because I never saw it in stores, and thankfully my buddy got it for me for my birthday. Now that thing's like what, $400 or $500 now. I never saw that thing anywhere.
Yeah, that's the part about collecting. I mean, it happens in all. I mean, I remember even like back when I was really hardcore collecting Kiss stuff, you would see it, but it wasn't as bad back then. But now it's just bad. I guess people just make a business out of it. It's just, let me buy 10 H Kills figures, because they're on pre-order and then they're sold out. Boom, and they're selling for what, $50. So I'm gonna sell them for $100.
Yep.
And it's to me, it's happening for how many years? Because everybody does it. When look at concert tickets, that's exactly what they do. Buy them all up and sell them.
You're right with that. And I used to really be big into shoes. I used to play basketball in high school, and I still play basketball still here and there. But I loved collecting shoes. That was my collection when first collection ever was shoes. So now all these limited edition shoes, and you have to get online, order them. They sell tickets, raffle tickets, and everything sells out super fast. And then you see on StockX or whatever, and the shoe is like 5, 6, up to 10 times the price of what you could have got at a retail. So it's like a transition to any little market. Sneakers, collectibles, concerts. I mean, you name it. Everybody's out to make a buck nowadays, especially in this age of online and all this stuff, man. Everybody's trying to make a buck, man. Everybody.
I
It's so
saw
easy.
that
Yeah.
you were into shoes. Like I saw that being in Chicago when Jordan played, when his shoes came out every year.
Yeah.
And that was even before the internet. Really, people were lining up like crazy. So it's a interesting market for shoes, basketball shoes.
Yeah, it's survival of the fittest. People stand in line for days trying to get a shoe just to get it at retail, and then they go out and try to make some enormous amount of money. It's so stupid. Anyway, I digress.
It's amazing what people wait in line for.
That is true.
Well, I was just thinking back to the old days.
Yeah, I've done some stupid things.
I'm talking like I'm 100 years old. I'm taking back to the old days, really before the internet did blow up with eBay. And when I was hardcore collecting Kiss stuff, the only way I could find it really before eBay or the internet blew up was there was a thing called Toy Collector magazine that used to come out every month.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in the back they had they had articles about collecting stuff, but not necessarily in the back, but all through the whole thing they had things for sale. And they used to have auctions where they'd give you the number. You'd have to call in and say what your bid was. And you'd be like, okay, like if they were selling, like say they were selling the night he came home Necker figure. I'm bidding on if they had numbers, you tell them the item number or you tell them exactly what it is. I'm bidding, $200. Okay, well the highest bid right now is $225. I say, well, I'll put it up for $250, and then they'll call you when they get out. I mean, it just shows you how archaic it was compared to this. And then I remember I got not my first PC, but my first PC was the Commodore 64. So I'm really old, which is probably worth money now. I tell my son, because the younger generation is all into like computers and technology more than I ever will understand. But I said my first real computer was a Commodore 64, and my printer it was about maybe like this big. It's hard to say. Yeah, it's real small, and the paper was a roll. So if you printed something, it was a dot matrix. It would print, and then you just rip it off. like you see like something coming across the wire, like Associated Press. Look, we got this. It wasn't pieces of paper. It was a roll of paper, like paper towels. It was hysterical. But then when I finally got my first computer, I remember just searching Kiss stuff. I remember looking at Halloween, and I remember telling everybody the story of the Myers Museum. Used to be a website years ago. That was like the first place I really saw a psychopath that was really into Halloween, like myself. But then eBay popped up, and I was like, "Whoa!" It made things so much easier. I'm like, "You mean I don't have to keep calling people on the phone and calling in bids like I used to have to do from this magazine?"
Yeah,
it's crazy. The things
you'll find it, but you might have to pay more. But at least you'll have it. That's yeah. My father got into eBay like 97, 98, right when I think it started.
Yeah, me too. 98.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember the first time I got ripped off on eBay in 99. It was the Blair Witch Project shirt when the movie came out. Guy never sent it to me. Never got my money back. Still upset about that 23 years later.
I'm glad I missed that train. I'm glad.
Yeah. Before I forget, I don't know, Patrick, is the the guy, I don't know if he's in our group. I think his name's Roy Dom. He did these editions where he spliced them together. Is he in our group?
He's in the collectors group, yeah, because he's advertised them on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if he did. Yeah, that was the other thing. I got I didn't get the zombie one, but I got H2O and Resurrection. He does a real nice job on these. I've got the three of them here. So
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen him post them a few times.
Yeah,
speaking of Resurrection, I remember thinking of Michael on this. He's like, "All right, now staying on track."
Oh yeah, we've definitely blown our formula out of the water.
Oh yeah, my apologies.
That's okay.
Not
That's
your
okay, 'cause
fault because I did what Michael does to me, to you. All right, staying on track. We don't get off too hard.
well, we try to stay on track and keep it into an hour.
Yeah.
Simply because Michael he's at work. I mean, the store's open till 8 o'clock Central Time. So when we're done, he wants to go home. I'm already home, so I don't care.
Yeah, we're all doing okay.
I could talk all freaking night, but like the formula was, we just try to catch up, meet whoever, if we have a guest on, talk to the guest, what's in their collection, how they got into it, that type of thing. Then we'll do like, we'll show something. I had mentioned to you guys, I don't know if you guys, I love like, print media. Like I love old magazines. I love old vinyl. I love that stuff. So I have a stack of magazines. I could show some of them. I don't know if you guys had any. That's why I figured I'd send it out a little bit earlier so you guys could find some stuff if you had any.
Yeah, I grabbed a stack. Yeah, whichever order, if you're going to go, Patrick, Joe, whatever.
That's all you, Mr. Brett.
And also, Gabriel was saying, how much did that piece sell for, which is the Cinema Screams? I don't remember what it sold for on Friday night.
I thought it was like 170 or 180, $200, something.
It was something.
Yeah, it was over 200. Yeah,
was it over 200? I think
it was a good price.
Like
yeah, it was a good price because I've seen them go for over $300, easy. And he's right; they are ugly as hell. They're not that early. Like I said, one night we'll have to do a podcast on just PMG, which is a Paper Magic group, which is all the old Spencer stuff. I have pretty much, like I said, I added that costume tonight. But I have a lot of that stuff, and some of that stuff is really crude. You look at it, you're like, this even look. If it didn't say Michael Myers on it, you wouldn't know. But it's cool stuff. It's fun stuff. So that's why I'm like, oh, this is cool stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Matthew said it went for 180.
Oh, I thought it went higher than that.
Yeah, I did.
Well, that was a damn good deal.
I thought maybe if it wasn't 180, it was like 210 or something. I thought it was just over it.
No.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Quality mic impression.
All right, not to get you off track now.
Okay, well, yeah, I got a stack of magazines here and stuff, so I'll start with like the more recent stuff. So I got like this Horror Hound, the Halloween Kills one.
Yeah, and if I have it, I'm going to pull it aside so I don't have to show it again because, got that.
Yeah,
one.
you'll probably have a lot more than me, Patrick. It's not one of my things that I are into as much. This was from Mondo for
Birth,
Halloween
Death Movies.
2018.
That's actually sitting in the back seat of my car, untouched. The night that we
Untouched.
went to watch that. Yes. Yeah. Well, I got a special pint glass and something else with that. It was really cool.
Nice.
I got a couple John Carpenter related things, but yeah, well, this is kind of course, it's Carpenter. I had him sign this from his concert.
Oh, nice.
Magazine.
Nice.
He kind of gave me grief. He's like, "Why'd you bring that one to get signed?" I'm like, "Oh, it looked nice. I don't know."
Just sign it, John.
I cannot believe how much these are going for now.
I know.
Wow.
Crazy.
I cannot believe it because they were at H45. Fangoria had a booth. I'm like, I could have been a jerk and bought like 10 of them.
Yeah.
There's
this was from the H40.
Horror Hound. Yep.
Yeah. And this was the Horror Hound that Jamie Lee did, her edition.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And this is a rather cool Horror Hound here, where it's got a lot of memorabilia and stuff.
Yep.
When it was made.
Yep, that was a nice one.
A couple more. That's about it. Well, here's the Fangoria from Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Right.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I got this at a convention. This is from 2018.
A Den of Geek. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, something we're talking about here, Halloween Resurrection. That
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go.
There's
H4.
H4 Fangoria.
Sweet.
Yep. And then we've got the H5 one.
H5.
Guilty pleasure of mine.
Space alien mask.
Oh, this I really like how that one came out for H2 for Rob Zombie.
H2. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I love when they changed the Fangoria logo so it looked like fangs on the far end.
Right. That was towards the end of the last run, right?
Yep.
Or Rue Morgue.
Reminds me of the Metallica logo.
Did you ever see the puzzle with that cover on it?
No.
Crazy puzzle put out. I'll have to grab it. Actually, it's right. Hold on, let me get my hand in there. It's right there. If you notice that, that's a jigsaw puzzle.
That's a jigsaw puzzle, huh?
Of that cover. Came out about a year ago.
And this is my last one. It was $25 at a convention at one time.
H2.
Don't know how much it is now, but I have a couple more. But yeah, those are that's my stuff right there.
Nice collection, bud. Golly.
Nice. Yeah, you got pretty much the classic ones you need. I mean, I'm gonna put aside the ones, like I said.
Sorry if there was a lot of them, Patrick, but you got to have a lot because that's something that I haven't.
I'm just gonna yeah, I'm gonna show the ones that you didn't show. Don't make it really.
You guys are gonna make me go broke, man.
No, Joe, you got to get started somehow here. You know.
Yeah, you got to. I'm gonna go
Hey,
broke.
I've got a second resurrection one here, man. If well, I'll message you on it.
Cool, man. That sounds like a deal. That's cool.
Speaking of Fangoria, here's the H Kills Fangoria.
Ooh, I've seen. You know what? I'm the guy that's at freaking Barnes and Noble reading it, and my girlfriend's like, "Put it down. Put it down."
Why?
Don't want me to spend money on that. You know what I mean?
A lot too now. It's a shame. I
put it
have
away.
to find it somewhere.
And this is the subscriber only SFX from H Kills.
Oh, cool.
I love that. Oh, that mask is so cool.
So those were on top because I gotta file some of them. So I'm gonna go back to I'll go back to my earliest magazine with Halloween related content.
Oh. Hey.
1974 with Judith
Sandy?
Myers in it. Sandy
Oh.
Johnson, yeah, she's a centerfold in here. She's the Playmate of the Month.
Did you ever sign that or no?
I like I said when I met her, I was like, "Oh, you should have brought that and had her sign it." I'm like, it felt a little too pervy. Sorry, felt a little too pervy. So that's the earliest. Other than that, I have this is from 1978. It's Box Office Magazine from when Halloween came out. It's like a trade magazine.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I like that.
So that's one of the earlier ones. And let's see what else is here. Try to go. Oh, there's your Rue Morgue. You showed that. Oh, so I'm grabbing from the wrong side, I think. Hold on.
Just when you think you've seen it all, you'd never see it all. You know that by now, Joe, right?
Absolutely.
There's a Horror Hound, which is
Trying to make a mental catalog of all these things. I go back.
This one isn't full Michael Myers. This is the Horror Hound with Rob Zombie on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So you see Michael in the corner right there.
That is cool.
And you showed the other Horror Hound. The other one. This one is pretty cool. Hold on.
I have that same sweater you're wearing too, by the way. I love it. The hoodie.
Oh, the hoodie, yeah.
Yeah, rad, man.
This is Gore Zone with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh, cool.
Speaking of hoodies.
Yeah. This is from Europe. Vengeance Magazine. Halloween 5.
Oh, that's cool.
I gotta try to get it so the fucking goddamn light kills everything. There it is. I was gonna take them all out of the covers, but that's a pain in the ass.
That's
Who's
cool.
the girl on that cover?
That is
Look like Electra or like a Mortal Kombat.
Jennifer Garner? Yeah. Sorry, Patrick.
It is. It's Jennifer Garner.
Is it really? Okay.
Yep, that's Jennifer Garner. Another European magazine, Fear.
Oh, that's so cool.
Halloween 4. Toxic Magazine, Halloween 4.
I always got a kick out of that shot from Halloween 4 of him. Looked like he did.
This one is cool. This is if you're a fan of Halloween 3, it's got Stacey Nelkin in it, which is with a cool interview.
Not bad. Not bad.
Then
Yeah,
Revolver Magazine.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's cool.
Rock and roll, baby. Yeah.
This is, come on, don't stay together. 40 Years of Halloween, Remind Magazine. You see him up there in the top corner. And this is Premiere Magazine.
Oh, cool.
2018.
Like that.
They still make Premiere? Is that one? Are they still making that? I didn't think they were.
Yeah, that was 2018. Prosthetics Magazine.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Unmasking the shape.
Oh, there's your Den of Geek. You showed that. This is Film Magazine, H2O.
Oh, that's oh my god.
Yeah, it seemed like with film and Fangoria, they were all like subscription exclusives or UK exclusives with nicer covers.
Yeah, the UK stuff has, but they always have better magazines. Those people still like to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SFX magazine.
Nifty.
It's cool.
Entertainment Weekly, which this is, I guess, yeah, H2O. There's Michelle Williams again.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there's Entertainment Weekly with just Lori. And there she is again on Good Housekeeping.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
There, this must be the section with old Jamie Lee, because there she is on People Magazine.
Yeah, she's been making the rounds on set. I see. She went to go get her dog groomed.
Yeah, this is definitely the Jamie Lee pile. New York Magazine.
I'm trying not to like, I know what you mean about the post. I'm trying not to see them because I want to, I don't want to see too much. But
Birth, Death Movies. You showed that. Oh, here's I showed the total film before. This is the total film subscriber only issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And here it is, the one that's on the newsstands. Buy it, and you can get on the newsstands.
Yeah.
That's the regular one. And I hate when they do that, but they give you the two covers. It's a pain. It's just, I gotta buy another one. Damn it.
Yeah, I can't. That one and the Fangoria are, God, the pricing on them right now. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's just crazy. This Scream Magazine, because it's got her on it again.
Yeah.
Ella Lugosi.
And there's another Scream with Michael.
Halloween 6. Cool.
This is pretty cool. This is, I forgot I had this in here. This is, if you guys are familiar with the earlier Halloween VHS cassettes from the company Media.
Yeah.
Media company. This is a Media video cassette catalog from 1985. And it has Halloween in it. These are the things they sent to the video stores so they can buy the movies. So if I open it up.
That was when they already had that logo, not the generic one, because isn't it the generic logo one? That's pretty valuable, right? Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's cool, man.
And on the others, and you can also buy Chainsaw Massacre, Tourist Trap.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what do we got here? Oh, this is pretty sure this is Brazilian magazine. I forget. I think it's Brazilian.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of got one of those like sad clown faces. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it was Brazilian, if I remember correctly. This one. Oh, this is another one of those shock seminar, which are like interviews. Got it because it had PJ Souls in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they just announced her and Bob, John Michael Graham, for our flashback convention this summer.
Oh, nice.
So
Sweet.
This is the one I was thinking of. I don't even know how to say this, and I'm not even going to attempt. It's just got a lot of consonants in it. It's a Turkish magazine.
Ella Karabalankek.
Yeah, just
Pretty
and
good.
the back. And what I like about it, the cover is cool. The back is even better.
yeah, the playing card is interesting.
Oh,
all the faces.
that's
Isn't that
dope.
cool?
You got
Yeah,
Ben Mikey. That's cool.
Yeah, the back is awesome. They should have put that on the front. And as I said, I love these magazines because they have some cool artwork, and they usually have good articles. This one I picked up. It's like almost looks like it's like the size of a TV guide. The John Carpenter file talks about all his movies, not just Halloween.
Yeah, it looks like a Fangoria, it's kind of.
But if you notice how small it is, it's like the size of a TV guide.
That's cool.
So, Actually, I'll show you the other. This is the TV guide it's got the advertisement for the first time they broadcast Halloween, which is October 1981. So that's in this here. Jet magazine with LL on it
No.
and Jamie Lee. And this Michael showed last week, Video Watchdog. He had it in with the books, but it's actually really just a magazine, but it's got a cool cover.
Yeah.
And we got, this is another European magazine, Shivers.
Oh yeah.
Now that looks pretty wicked.
Shivers.
Yeah.
That's that famous shot that they used on that Blockbuster VHS box set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have that movie in it. That's that's
know.
the best. There's another Shivers. This one is for H2O. This is Shivers from Rob Zombie's Halloween. This is Scream magazine. Again, another. Like I said, it's amazing how many of them are European magazines because they still do a lot of cool print stuff.
I just realized, did you have this Shivers one? Because this one was Dawn of the Dead, but it had 25 years of Halloween movies.
No, that one I don't have. Now I got to pick that up. I didn't know that.
I didn't realize until you were bringing up the Shivers. I'm like, why do I have this? I'm like, oh yeah, 25 years of Halloween. It says on there.
Yeah, no, I got to pick that one up.
Yeah,
I love the covers are awesome and they're fun to save, but I actually love to read them. I'll read them too.
That's number 110, Patrick. If you need to know. Yeah.
I'm writing that down. Another Scream magazine. Rob Zombie.
Nice.
H2. And there's The Dark Side, another European magazine.
Oh, I like the print on that. That's cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Another Dark Side.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool artwork on that. Huh.
And why this is another Dark Side? Oh, yeah, it's another Dark Side, but it talks about Halloween. I think that's why I got it. It doesn't have a cover, but that's probably why I got it because it had an article on it. And Sam Hain magazine. See Michael in the background?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I got another Sam Hain. Yeah, another Sam Hain with the H2 pumpkin. And I think it's the last Sam Hain magazine with the Ghost Face and
Michael
Predator. And the other two knuckleheads. And there's another. This is I want to say I think it's Italian. Mad Movies. Halloween H2O. Another one for
her famous shot.
Rob Zombie. Yep. And this is another Rob Zombie. The Mess di Terra. Rob Zombie's H2. And Mad Movies put this out, which is pretty cool. It's like a whole thing on Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pick this one up. You guys will like it. It's awesome. It's different language, but it's got a lot of cool pictures. And there's actually another Italian, Nocturno. Rob Zombie's H2.
The bottle, the puppy.
This cover I always loved. Starburst magazine. I'm amazed that they used this on the cover. There's Karen getting killed.
Yeah. Oh. You can so see how bad it
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's like we used to play with glue in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another Starburst from H2. There she is.
That fantastic wig. Oh,
Starburst
from 2018.
It's always interesting with some of the older ones. You see what else was out at that time. You're like, oh,
yeah.
I love that.
This is Halloween, or just an article on when they start talking about Halloween. It's up top. So I got that one.
Yeah, the nostalgia there.
Oh, and now I'm in the Fangoria realm, which is obvious. I'll just go through them because at the end there's that one you had, H2.
The best.
Here's Fangoria H3.
Yeah.
That looks crazy.
Oh yeah.
You showed H4. You showed H5, correct?
Yeah.
H6.
Yeah. I remember when that came out, I was anticipating because there hadn't been a new movie for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you showed the zombie one. You showed the other zombie one. Let me see what else we got here. You showed the other one. So we don't have to go too crazy. This one was cool. I don't know if you had this one. It's limited edition issue. We're talking about all different horror movies.
No.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's a Scream Factory thing. Okay.
Yeah. It came out around the same time, I think, as the first issue, like the first reboot issue.
So yeah, around H40, H18.
Oh,
yeah.
Rue Morgue for, I believe this was look at the 1999. Yep.
Yeah, Rue Morgue's another nice magazine.
Another Rue Morgue.
I like that.
Rob Zombie Rue Morgue.
Yep.
And gentlemen, that is my list.
And that's something.
Thank you. Good night.
Hell of a list, man. Very impressive, sir. Very, very impressive.
Well,
Thank you.
yeah.
Now I have to put them all back on the shelf. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to organize them properly too.
Yeah. I don't know how you look like your space you're getting there. You kind of crammed, Patrick. You got enough back there?
I have every piece of wall space taken. Notice there's a lot of space taken up with my guitars and CDs. So eventually, like I said, we're talking about doing some renovations. And the other side of this room is like theater chairs and a TV and stuff. So we're going to try to rearrange things differently. So if I can, I want to get all that space back. I'll put my guitars and stuff like over the other side and the DVDs over there so I can create some more space. Because I think I was talking to one of the other collectors in the group. And he was just sending me pictures. He just got a real nice NAG mask. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't got any of them. I never got any of the custom masks yet. I keep saying I'm going to, but they're big money and I just haven't gotten around to it. But I pretty much have every TOTS mask. I just have absolutely zero space to display them. So they're all in a box in the other room. And it's funny. They're like in these boxes in the other room. And the other spare room is like a guest room with a chair, with a bed rather, or TV. And there's like my daughter goes in there and works out. There's like a workout machine. There's a treadmill in there. And every once in a while, we're moving stuff around. I got 2 huge boxes with heads and masks on them. And she's like, I'm just trying to work out. I got to move this box and this head pops out. I'm like, I need space. You guys got to get out.
I'm going to be hearing about that here soon because, where I'm at here, this is our home theater back here. So I one side of the home theater is the Halloween wall. And
that's
now
it.
my
Same
kids,
thing.
Yeah, my kids are starting to get a little bit older where friends are going to be coming over a bit often. They're going to see this wall. They're going to be like, what the hell?
Oh, my friends, my daughter and my son's friends have been staying down here because, like I said, we have those big theater chairs. They pretty much lay flat. So they all like to sleep down here when they had sleepovers when they were younger.
Yeah.
And they just all see the stuff and they got so used to it, didn't phase them. I think I was telling the story about the original Halloween clown doll.
Mm-hmm.
How I would come downstairs and that would be the only thing turned facing the other direction because the clown doll used to freak the shit out of them. They'd be like, we're sleeping. We'll all wake up. We look, we see this damn freaking clown staring at us. So I'd come down and it would be just turned around facing the wall. But all the rest of this stuff, they didn't, it never seemed to bother them. And actually all their friends are like, it was funny because I was like I'm like the cool dad. They're like, oh, because we always have parties. I sort of have a big piece of property and I'll have my band play in the backyard. We usually have a big party. My last name is Ring. So every summer we have ring stock in my backyard.
Oh,
so my band,
awesome.
So we set up, it's great. We set the band up in the backyard. And we just play all day long. With the band that I play in a cover band. And we have, guests come over and everybody just pitches tents and we just camp out and drink all night long. I got a pool, everybody swims, we get a bunch of food. And so I'm like the cool dad. Oh, Mr. Ring has these big parties and he's got all this cool Halloween stuff. And it's like, no, Mr. Ring needs his head examined is what it is.
Hey man, I need an invitation, buddy. I'll fly up there.
Come on out, man. Because you play, right?
I sing.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Michael plays fantastic. I
Michael
know that.
plays. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
but
if you fly in, do you go to Philly then, Patrick? Is that where you would go, or
no, I'm in Northeast. I'm closer to
Jersey then, right?
I'm close to the New Jersey and New York border are 10 minutes from me.
Yeah, it's just all crammed when you get in that area. And like,
Yeah.
I was just in Pennsylvania. We picked up a dog. We adopted a dog,
Oh, nice. Where?
and I was in Lancaster County.
Mhm.
He's a miniature Rottweiler. He's only 45 pounds, but he's a beautiful dog. But I just could not believe how wide Pennsylvania was. Like,
Oh, it's big. Yeah, it's wide.
Pittsburgh to Philadelphia was like 5 hours. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, for me, well, my son and I, we went to a concert in Pittsburgh. I want to say a couple of years ago. He was still in high school. I pulled him out. It's funny. We were sitting one day in the car, and he's flipping through my old because I used to have one of those iPod Classics with all my CDs in it, and I had all these different playlists. So he's in the car, and he's like, "Dad, can I put on what I want?" I said, "Yeah, put on anything you want, buddy," because he actually likes all the music I like. He starts putting on like old school punk rock, like the Dead Kennedys and the Sex Pistols.
What?
And I'm like, "You listening to this?" He's like, "Yeah, is that okay?" I said, "Oh, that's freaking awesome." He's listening to.
Yes.
So he loved it because I used to be a skateboarder back in high school. So I used to listen to like all the SoCal skateboard bands. So I said, "How about we go to Terrence? You want to go see the Dead Kennedys and TSOL?" He's like, "Yeah, where?" I go there in Pittsburgh. I said, "If I could convince Mom to let you pull you out of school," I said, "We'll drive out there because it's 6 hours. Go to the show, stay overnight, and come home." So that's a one and only time I've been to Pittsburgh. So I know how freaking far it is. It's like
That's
a 6 hour ride. It's a 6 hour drive from me.
Yeah,
Good dad, man. That's a good dad move right there.
Oh, he loved it. He had a ball. And we met the band. They got the biggest kick out of me with my son. I got pictures with them. They signed stuff for us. It was cool, really, really cool. And I'm telling them the stories. I said, I saw you guys when I probably was his age at your shows. And now they just did that. And they're like, "You guys drove 6 hours to come see us?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So it was a lot of fun. It was definitely cool. Yeah, my son, ever since he started getting into music, has been my concert partner. He'll go to all the concerts with me.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. You said you got guitars. Do you have do you have a Myers or Halloween guitar face on a guitar or no? Just never got into that?
I never did. Yeah, because I never really did any custom stuff. I have an old Strat that I had painted years ago. My brother used to do auto body and he had a body shop, so he painted it for me. But people always said like, "Oh, you don't have a Kiss guitar, you don't have like a Michael." I said, "Yeah, nah, I never really. When I'm playing, I'm just looking to play out. I don't need anything fancy like that. As long as it's
You just want to jam."
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because I actually had. I gotta look and see if I still had them. Somebody in the group was selling a couple years back guitar knobs with Michael Myers' face on them, and I bought them and thinking maybe one of these days I would do something like that. And I ended up selling I think 2 of them. Some guy did it, and the guy I have to look and see if he sent me he sent me a picture of how cool it came out and he had like real nice. I have to look and see where it is. It was somebody in the group. I think it was somebody in the group. Or was it on eBay? I forget, but yeah, somebody did a real nice Myers guitar.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe people are like, "Oh, you don't even have a tattoo." I said, "No, it's funny because I have a bunch of tattoos, but after I got married, but the kids came and stuff like that, I just stopped with the tattoos. One of these days, I was like, "You don't have a Myers tattoo?" Like we were just talking about it, right, Joe? We said we all got to get the friggin' Myers tattoo. I mean, I'll do it now. Yeah, I have no problem doing it. Like I think the last 2 tattoos I got were my kids, and my son's going to be 20 and my daughter's 16. So that shows you how long ago that was.
Yeah, we've been talking. My wife and I said we want to get tattoos both together at the same time, whether it's whatever. She's a breast cancer survivor, so she wants something with that.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's 5 years in remission, but I was like, I want to get a little bit better shape, but I keep on saying that, so I'm like, I better give up on that.
I've given up on that. I'm like, "Oh, I want to be in better shape." No, I've tried, I go up and down the weight, and we talked about it too because my wife was never a tattoo person either. She doesn't have any tattoos. She's totally opposite of me. And like for our 20th anniversary, so why don't we go get tattoos? She's like, "Oh, and so she kind of turned her nose at it, but maybe one of these days. You know what it is? when my daughter wants to get one, that's when she'll go.
That's what she'll go.
And I'll be like, I'll go too.
Yeah. Can I tag along?
If
Yeah.
you
No,
got
it's
a
a girl
Halloween
thing.
one. Oh, I'm sorry. If you
No.
got a Halloween one, which one would you get? I could probably get just the pumpkin and a knife from the first poster. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to. It'd be something I'd have to really think about. But something obviously from the first movie. Nothing, no
No, you got
disrespect to
one,
the other
right?
movies.
Yeah, I got two different ones. The first one was kind of like a spur of the moment type deal, and then the other one I really put some thought into. It was supposed to kind of be like like a cartoony take on, I saw a couple of like Frankenstein and a couple other things, like in a cartoony figure. And I wanted that for Michael's face because I wanted it to look like he was having fun while killing. So he has the blood tears, but he's kind of got like this grin on his face, and it's kind of cartoony. And I try to make light of it, but it turned out really good. It hurt like a son of a gun on my thigh, but it turned out really bad. Nice colors.
Yeah, so it's not the blood like behind Pat there in the stand-up.
Yeah.
He has that, but he's kind of smiling and it's like running down his cheek. So it's kind of like a condescending type of thing. Like
It's a spoof almost.
yeah, kind of like a spoof. That's right. Exactly. So that was my kind of twist because you see people everywhere. You go to conventions, you go meet people. They'll pull out all kinds of tattoos, and I'm like, well, that looks all right. I mean, that's pretty good, but it looks like you just said whatever you got, slap it on.
You see people at the conventions do that. Like James Drew Courtney when he was here at our show last year. Somebody signed it and they went straight to the tattoo person. He signed the girl's arm. I'm like, oh my God. That's like a big thing. People do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
okay. Whatever floats your boat.
I might do that with Dick Warlock this year because I've never met him, and hopefully in April we got tickets to go to that con here, and hopefully I get to meet him, have him sign my leg close to this one right here, and then either take a picture of it so I can either scan it or something, or just leave it until I can get a tattoo done. So I'm probably gonna do that. But just Dick Warlock though.
Is he going to be a Texas Frightmare? Or?
Yes, he is. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is supposedly a one-time, one-year thing, according to Sean Clark. So get him if you can, or meet him if you can.
Yeah, because
sure am.
he's in his early 80s, so I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You can't do it. I have a quick question. Gabriel, but you know what was sad? The guy buying that print for 87, it's online for 25. Gabriel, what print? I'm sorry, I missed it. I was just curious.
The one Michael's been selling the last couple of weeks, right? With Loomis with the gun in the center. It's the landscape one. Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
he sold a
Gabriel,
couple
let us know.
prints on Friday. I don't know exactly which one, but
I can't. It's the Prince thing. I think you brought it up, Pat. Like I love seeing these Mondo ones. It's just the market for them. It's just
Out of
I've kind
control.
of grown out of it. I have a few of them, but it's
You know what it is? When I saw it, when it was first starting, I saw the prints, and at the time, I really didn't collect them because when they really started, the same thing. Like I just didn't have the space. I'm like, what am I going to do with them? Just keep them rolled up forever? So I just kind of whatever. And they weren't expensive, but then as time progressed, they just got so and like I told everybody's like, I'm like, I will never own them because I will never pay those prices for them. I'm just not going to do it.
at age 40, you probably heard the stories. Like, yeah, Mondo had booths. And some of the ones that they had sold in the past, they were selling them at certain times. You had to be following Twitter. Those lines were busier than the autograph lines. I was
yeah. It's just crazy. Those print. I mean, it's nice. It's just out of hand. Well, Brett, you've never been on Instagram. You say you just created an Instagram.
I just created Instagram, so yeah, I'll be sure to look for you on there.
Go look up Chicago Boogeyman.
Let me write that down. Chicago.
Look that up, and I'm hoping Brian's in the chat. I'm trying to get him on. Him, another collector friend of mine.
Oh,
Dan,
Brian's in Chicago too, I think, right?
Yeah. Brian, yeah. Did you ever see his? Well, you haven't been on Instagram. When you'll see his, go on Instagram. You want to see a crazy collection, and he's got it set up beautifully. And I'm hoping I was going back and forth with him today. I might have him and another collector on next week. Sweet. And he's actually had his in one of the Rewind magazine that came out a couple of months back. They were showcasing Halloween. They screenshotted some of his collection and put it in the magazine too.
Yeah, I think we're friends on Facebook because he got the chalk line jackets, I think, didn't he? Wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the same. Yeah.
Brian, if you're in the chat, give us a shout. I'm not sure if you're there or not.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he might not be because that's one of the reasons he couldn't because they were having the computer he had shit the bed, so they were looking to get something different. So hopefully next week. Yeah,
I think he's closer to the city. I'm about 40 to 50 miles out of the Chicago.
Chris, sorry you're so late. Missed anything good? Everything has been good, man. You didn't miss it. You missed it all.
Well, it's been great, like putting. Well, I see you guys, but you didn't see me, I guess. So.
Well, yeah, it's nice. It's nice putting a face, and it's good talking to people because, especially like yourself, we've seen conversations and I've had things go back and forth, and it's been cool. Like I said, I've met so many good people, which is great, that have outweighed the people you try to avoid. Like I'd say 95% has been awesome of the people I've met, and I've become friends with a lot of people. I mean, look at me and Michael. We met through the group, and never met in person. I've never met you guys in person, and now I can see you guys friends, and we could talk about Halloween all day long.
Yeah,
and it's awesome, and it's such a good community. You do have some jerks, and you try to weed out those people, especially in the group. I get a lot of the collectors group has got so many people in there now. There's so many people. You get trolls, you get people posting, getting nasty with other people. So it's like a thing where you just got to keep monitoring it. And I just try to tell everybody, look, this is all for fun. It's not a competition.
No,
that's the thing. Some people just like feel like it's a competition. It's like, no, it's like, I want to see what you have. I think it's cool. If I can find something for you, I'm hoping someday you can return the favor. I say, hey, Pat, you were looking for this. I found it. I've helped people, and people have helped me. And that's the way it should be. It should be a good community. Yeah. Positive. And
that's positive. Not like, oh, why'd you do this? Or why'd you charge me all this?
Yeah, and for the most part it is. I mean, and but there has been over the past couple of years since I created that group, there's been a couple of people, and a couple of people have gotten nasty with me too. And I'm just like, why'd you block me? It's like, because you were being a dick. You want me to be blunt? You were being a fucking dick. That's why I blocked you. You're a keyboard warrior. Why are you being a dick to these people? When people, not everybody's got a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. So people sometimes post stuff and they're all excited to post something. It may look good. It may not be so great. Why do you got to be a dick?
Yeah.
You don't know their background. You don't know their finances. This is something special to them. Why are you being a dick?
Well, in our group, it's not like it's more of the stuff that is, I guess, affordable, at least for me. Like, it's not like actual props from the sets or things like that. It's stuff that you can get, or it is attainable, and it's not overly. It is expensive too, but it's not as bad as some of that stuff. Like I was on Sean Clark's Facebook auction when Michael got that Nick Castle laser disc.
A laser disc?
I was hoping to get it, but I got his Escape from New York and Major Payne ones though. So.
I think I told Michael this story. I think I told Michael the story every time I was going to those Sean Clark things. As soon as I saw his name pop up, I'm like, I'm out.
Yep. It's over. Out of my budget.
Out of my budget. Michael's in the room. Step back. He's going to get it. And I'm just happy for him that he got it. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, at least I know who it's going to. It's going to a hardcore collector or somebody who loves it. So it's cool.
Right. They're not out to make a second buck on the side or anything. So.
Exactly. And with his store, look what he's doing for people. He's giving people a place to get stuff that at affordable rate and just trying to help people out, which is awesome. I remember him talking about it years ago. We talking about doing a store, and he's like, I should do it like a toy store. I should do something like that just to help people out. And he did. Good for him.
Now, did he get his Halloween pinball game? I know somebody asked him. I didn't see if he responded.
Not yet, because he would have posted pictures of it. Yeah, not yet.
I haven't seen it in the store at all. No.
I think you would know. 200s of shipping right now. That's a perfect example of something. I would love to get one of those. Wife would kill me, but
well, it's funny because I was showing the wife pictures and she's like, I'm surprised you didn't ask. I said, because I figured you would have just said, fine, here's the divorce papers. She's like, why? I go, because it was $9,000. And she's like, oh, good move that you didn't ask.
And if I heard that all the time, like the Six Flags Great America here, when they have Fright Fest, I hear the Halloween theme all the time. So it's like, oh man, as much as I love the movie, that you hear it nonstop if you're at the park. I'm like, oh, play something different. Don't ruin this.
And like Chris was saying, I have a problem with all the Rob Zombie H2 hate. I dig it. And you know what? I don't shit on any of the movies that bad, because some of the movies people like the Rob Zombie ones, all of a sudden are hot. Because you know what it is? It's like that age group is coming of age now, and they're going back to it, and they're starting to really like it, and they're collecting all the stuff. Same way like you guys came in at age 4, so you guys all started getting into it at a certain time. And the Rob Zombie ones, you know what? To me, it's like it was a fun take on them. Do I hate them? No. Are they my favorites? No. But I could find several things in that movie I enjoyed. I mean, the kills were brutal as hell.
Right.
But it wasn't so bad. But you just get people like you know, we do the like, well, which we'll get to. You know, we try to do something like about each movie, like, you know, favorite character, favorite kill, favorite whatever. And I've had so many people that I've chatted with. You know, sometimes I get stuck in chats with people that look at my collection, and which is awesome. And they're always like, "Oh, what are your rankings?" I'm like, "Who cares what I think?"
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you never did a ranking." I go, "Because who cares?
I
It's all
mean,
subjective. So
if you
what you
Google
like."
it, you can find 10 lists of 10 people's different opinions. Go ahead.
10, you can find
Have
thousands of them.
thousands. Yeah, go ahead. Help yourself.
That's why
I
I've
think
never done one. I'm like, who cares what I think? I mean, I could give you a list, but who cares? It's like
well,
just everybody like what you like. It's very subjective, and everything's got something different in it. I mean, very rarely will you find somebody that's not going to say Halloween. The original one is their number one. There's plenty of people I know that'll say H4 because that's when they came in. That was their gateway, and I'm like, that's awesome. That's cool. It doesn't
yeah.
always have to be H1.
Yeah,
You
very true.
you guys you guys both talking the last few episodes, and Michael, like I seem to find something I like in every single Halloween movie. That's just the way I am from the love of the series.
Same thing. Yep.
Yeah. Like as much a lot of people didn't like this last one. I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of good things about this last one. It's a totally different film than 2018, but there's some real good stuff in this last movie still too. It's not nearly the best in the series, but
No, but I enjoyed it. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's garbage. It's a dumpster fire." I'm like, "No." I go, "These are slasher movies." I mean, I grew up in the age of the 80s and 70s and 80s slasher movies where it was so cringy and so bad. I mean, look, one of my favorite things is that every once in a while when it pops up is Sleepaway Camp. Have you ever watched Sleepaway Camp?
yeah,
I love the whole premise.
I love that movie.
But it just goes to like, but the production is so cheesy that if you see the police officer in the beginning has his real mustache, and at the end, they must have. It's like Groucho Marx painted on with a
Yes.
marker because he must have shaved.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I mean, and it's like you could sit there and bash it all you want. But I'm like, I love that. How cool is that? It's so freaking funny. I remember going to the video store as a kid and going in the horror section, just looking at all the covers of all these. I Spit on Your Grave, you know, Tourist Trap, or Motel Hell. All these old, you know, these '80s films that were fucking awesome. And that's how I just love all that stuff. And believe me, you can make an argument for a lot of those movies being pretty bad, but they're so bad they're good.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
I can watch that shit. And my wife will come downstairs, you know, if I'm sitting down here watching TV, you know, I'll be just, oh God, what are you watching now? And I'll have some cheesy horror movie on that I just found, and I'm like, it's just that's what I like. You know, it's all subjective. To sit there and shit on somebody's opinion is just being a dick.
Yeah, I think I hear a lot of people say every new one they make, they're ruining it. And I go, no, because movies are subjective. You could just pretend in your mind that the only one that existed was the first movie. You don't have to think that like all these other movies.
Yeah, I'm not Roger Ebert and I'm not Gene Siskel. I'm not doing it. I'm not a reviewer by no means. I can give you my take on what I liked, what I disliked, or what they could have done better. But like I said at the end, who cares what I think?
But people were
It's what
upset
you
that they
think.
showed when Brackett saw Annie on the stretcher in Halloween Kills. It's like, well, that didn't happen if H2 didn't exist. I'm like, no, but she still died. So to me, it's like that's not that big of a deal to me. Just like you still would have seen her.
It's nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking.
Yeah, exactly. And so our last part of what we try to do is we always try to pick something, and from one of the like some type of subject for the movies, and try to go through the rankings, so to speak. Because like I said, I'm not a big rankings guy. So we talked about what are your top 5 masks out of the franchise.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have to. I mean, they could be as specific as you know, the CGI mask, or as specific as, you know, the castle stretch mask, because, you know, there's so many different variations. But I mean, I just picked which ones from each movie. I didn't dive that deep into it.
Okay.
But since Brett's our guest, you want to go first? You know, from
should I start?
5 to 1?
Yeah, 5 to 1. You want me to say them all then?
Yeah.
Just all in a row?
Okay. Or we'll start with you like we did, and we'll just work away. Like you can say
Yeah.
5, Joe say 5, I say my 5. We'll go back and forth just to see where they all land.
My 5 was Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first Rob Zombie movie. That's my number 5.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Let's go with Kills. Halloween Kills.
And I'm right there with Brett. My number 5 was Rob Zombie Halloween. It was not. It was my number 5.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of subjective too. Like some people could say, well, H1 and H2s are the same, but I'm still counting them as separate masks as if we go that route.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
My
like
number
it.
4, I will go with Halloween 6. For some reason that mask to me was very chilling. You saw the least amount of his eyes, so I go with Halloween 6 as my 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go Halloween 2018. So kills and then 18.
There you go. And for me, my number 4 was Kills. H Kills. I thought it did a great job with the burn. I was a little leery at first when it first came out, but I think it grew on me. I thought it looked pretty cool, especially it's some of the lighting looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got Halloween Kills as my next one down. Then I got Halloween for. I really like the burns, and
Yeah, it looked
James
cool.
Courtney just hit it out of the park with it.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I'm gonna, spoiler alert. I'm not giving any of the Rob Zombie mask love. Sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna give the next one is gonna be Halloween 4. So I
Okay.
got kills Halloween 18, and then Halloween 4.
Gotcha.
And my number 3 is it's 2018.
Nice.
I think they did a real nice job with it. Showing how weathered it would be.
Yes.
And yeah, so that was definitely for me. It's not my number 3.
Yeah, Chris Nelson, he hit it out of the park with these masks, and it'll be interesting
yeah.
to see what he does with ends. It'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
So, number 2, H2, 81, or yeah, Dick Warlock. It might be the same mask, but it definitely transcended from 78.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's gonna be Halloween numero uno, the first one. That's my second.
There you go. Nice. And I'm with Brett. Mine is H2.
Nice.
81 H2. Yeah. And that one scared me more. I think Halloween 2 scared me more than H1 because I saw Halloween 2 was the first one I saw in the theater.
Yeah.
And to see it in the theater when you're 81, I was 9 years old, scared the fucking piss out of me. And I told the whole story of how my brother's friend was teasing me and freaking touching my back during the movie, and I wouldn't turn around. I wouldn't turn around for shit because we were in the back of the theater, and the old theaters used to have when you first walked in, they have like a wall, so when you open the doors, it wouldn't flash on the screen, the light.
Yeah.
So we were like right by the edge, so he was just coming around, just touching me, and I'm like, I am not. I was 9 years old, and for the time that was scary as hell. I'm like, didn't turn around. But yeah, that one always scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, what was it? Deborah Hill, supposedly she kept it under bed for those few years, so obviously it aged a bit.
And she smoked like a truckload of cigarettes and got it all nicotined up, and that's why she died so young.
Yeah, I definitely H1 is number 1. It started it all. Yeah, it's Tommy Lee Wallace. He knocked it out, and God bless William Shatner.
What would we do without Captain Kirk?
Yeah, there would be no mask without him.
If he comes around, I will get one signed, though. I've been saying I have missed him at a few shows. I'm going to break down. He's getting up there now, though. So
yeah, he's like 91, 92 now.
Yeah.
Getting harder to go around, too. Getting too big for them plane seats.
Yeah.
Hey, he just went to space.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Did he go with Strahan?
That's funny. I guess lastly would be H2 for me.
Okay, reverse it, which is fine. Yeah, that's great.
That mask, and my favorite part was when I think I mentioned last time whenever he's coming after Lori and she's screaming for help on the floor, and he comes around the corner with that red light.
With the red light,
yeah. That is, to me, that is the best looking Michael, in my opinion.
Nice,
right there.
And me, I'm gonna go with each one just like Brad. That was like I said. I always try to equate it to your gateway drug, and that was my entrance into it. It's like if you have a band, like your favorite album from a band, and that started all for me. I mean, I love aspects of every movie, but yeah, that was the first because I remember, like I said, vividly seeing it for the first time at home with my cousins, and the first time you really saw the mask when he picked up the phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
After he just killed Linda, and we were just like, whoa.
The lighting hit it too.
The lighting, we were like, whoa. And then when he sits back up at the end, we're like, no way, because you figure this is when I was 8 years old. So it was crazy as hell.
Yeah, especially with that when they used the black light with Laurie when he comes up behind in the darkness, and Dean Cundy slowly turned it up.
Brilliant.
That's the first thing I think of with the first Halloween is that scene that affected me the most. That scene. Well,
And you know what's funny though is as I got older and I started collecting Halloween stuff, and like I have a lot of, and then they would start putting it as extras on the DVD where they'd show you like all the different trailers that they showed, all the commercials they showed. They showed you everything. And
yeah,
people complain now about what they show about movies coming out. If you go back and watch it, they showed everything then too. But the thing is, back in '78, you know, it wasn't like today's kids. Like I was outside riding my bike and doing stuff with my friends.
And you couldn't stop
We
and
had
rewind,
you
break
didn't have
it
the internet.
apart, look at
yeah. So
everything.
if you didn't see
Yeah.
the commercial, I didn't know it. Like I said, I tell everybody the story. I had no clue about that movie. It just came on. My cousins were all over. We were all coming home on a Saturday night. We all rode our bikes to my parents' house to watch The Warriors. And that's what we wanted to see, The Warriors.
Warriors.
Still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
And right after that, 10:30 at night, this movie Halloween comes on. We're like, all right, yeah. Because it was Halloween. It was October 31st, 1980. So it was on a Saturday night. It was Halloween. And we did our, trick or treating and everything. And then we're sitting there watching the movie. It scared the shit out of me. So, but the thing is, it was so ingenuous. Like all that stuff that they showed it was genius. But when I started to go back and look at all that stuff, and I'm like, wow, they really spoiled the shit out of that movie back then because you saw you saw that scene where he comes from the doorway. They showed that scene. They showed a lot. They showed the chase. Yeah.
But the chase probably sold it though. You're thinking like, oh God, is she really going to make it with this guy?
Well, you get a lot of people like, especially with H Kills in 2018, where they showed too much. It's like, well, and if I watch Dave McRae, I'm sure you do. If you watch The Slaughtered Lamb, he put it perfectly. He's just like, well, you got to understand, those are designed to get people to come see the movie, excite them. He's like, us hardcore fans, and we're going to go no matter what. So it's not for you. It's for other people to get their ass in the seat and say, wow, that looks pretty cool. Because in '78, if you saw that trailer, you'd be like, oh, this looks pretty damn good. You'd go see it. Yeah. So I get it, but it was funny. Like when I started to collect and get more into it, and I would see the trailers. I'm like, man, they showed they spoiled the shit out of the movie.
Yeah,
but I understand why. But I just thought of it because when you showed that if you go back and watch those trailers, like usually towards the one of the ending ones they showed him coming into the scene, and it's just freaking awesome.
I think what helped it was an independent movie, so a lot of people didn't really catch those trailers. Maybe I gotta wonder if that would affect it. I'm sure it probably would still be a hit if that didn't happen. But
yeah, exactly. And,
I mean, they do tests to find out. People's attention spans ain't that long. They don't remember stuff as good as they think they do. So
Pat, that's a good point. You bring up trailers. That should be something you do on a future show. That'd be cool. A countdown of your favorite theatrical trailers from the series.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna write that down because I will forget. Because like we're talking about,
I was like, man, because I know one right now, but yeah, we don't. Yeah, figure that out.
Well, on is it YouTube? I think on YouTube, if you look up classic horror movies like say Friday 6th one, Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, some Halloween movies. They will actually, when you are thinking about renting it, it'll actually play the vintage trailer to the movie from the original release. It's like, have you ever been afraid of the dark? Like, it's real cool, and then it'll come in and like old school. Like, it's really cool. Check that out on YouTube.
Okay.
Like, just act like you're gonna rent something, but don't, and then it'll play.
The trailer will be on there.
It is awesome. Yes.
Cool.
And actually, there's I forget the name of his YouTube thing. I'll have to find it. The guy that sent me, the guy that sold me my Halloween 35 millimeter print, he transferred a bunch of stuff from old trailers, and he's got a bunch of them on YouTube. I'll have to find it. I'll instant message you guys. Go check out his thing. He's got some cool ones that he transferred.
Oh, nice.
I legit spent a whole night once I found that I stumbled upon that feature. I stayed up all night watching horror movie trailers until like 3 a.m. I had to work the next day. I went to work feeling like ass because I stayed up all night watching these trailers. It was awesome.
I'll go down a rabbit hole sometimes.
Binge watch trailers.
Oh, dude, it was killer, man. I went and I just stayed up just like a kid in the candy store. I was like, this is amazing. This is great.
You sound like me with Reacher. I just did that with Reacher last week.
Yeah, man. You're never too old, man. I swear. Like, I put my kids to shame sometimes because they can't keep up with certain things. If I'm dedicated, like I'm zoned in,
Oh
like who
yeah.
the hell goes to 7 targets in one night? Nobody. This dumbass does.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that's our I hate the word
We're niche.
obsession. That's our so people are like, oh, it's an obsession. I said, no,
Passion.
I like the word perseverance.
Perseverance. That's very delicate. I like that.
I always say to my wife, because she's like, "Man, you got a serious problem." I'm like, "Oh, it's better than to be having a drug problem."
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
I've thrown that one at her
I
too.
say that a lot. Hey, I'm addicted to a lot, but at least it ain't drugs.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
say that shit all the time.
I tell her like I could get my money. I could at least get my money back, if not more, for some of this stuff.
I always tell her, I said, look, I said,
That's
just think how
right.
much money you're gonna get when I drop dead and you sell it all.
That's right. When people talk shit, I'm like, hey, like my kids, I'm like, hey, it's going to you, so you better start learning to love it.
Joe, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's what I say too. Even my 7, 8-year-old. How much do you have? I have a 7 and 8-year-old telling me that.
Like, look, you and your my kids say stupid neckas. You and your stupid neckas. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, have fun paying for college, sucker. How about that?
I tell them you and your stupid Roblox. That's what I tell both of mine.
You got some chores to do. Matter of fact, chores.
I'll throw right my son's face, and my son's he's away at college. He's in his second year of college now. It's just like
nice.
it's like how much shit how much more stuff I could buy if I wasn't paying for that shit.
Hey, but there's like light at the end of the tunnel. Aren't you like looking at? You're like, interesting. I can make some moves in about 2 more years.
Oh, and my daughter. It's because as soon as my son graduates, they're 4 years apart. My son graduates, boom, I get hit right away. But my daughter's starting college, and I don't get me wrong, I love my kids to death, and I can joke around with them, and they're all just like, well, what are you guys doing? I said, look, I said the plan is you guys get your education, you guys get a good job, and at some point you got to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I love you to death, but you got to get out. And I said, and like they're looking at me like, what? I said, that's the advice my father gave. My father's passed away. I used to say, he's like, I love you and your brother, but at some point you got to get the fuck out.
And then the next thing, you're off my insurance.
Yep, get off my insurance. And when I moved out, I moved it out right after high school. I went to school, and then I came back after school and stayed. Then I started dating my wife, and then we moved in together. And next time I came to visit, my father had all that shit in fucking boxes.
Damn.
He's like, I love you to death, but here's all your shit. Don't forget it on the way out.
Reality check.
I just,
Old Irishman.
I got a text, and this is something that I forgot to bring up here. It was kind of being picky about a collectible. So the Loomis Lori 2-pack that came out with her in the gown from H2.
Right.
I bought one, but the gun, Loomis's gun, was loose in the package, right? So then I saw it again at Target, so I bought another one. And my wife's like, why the hell did you buy another one? I'm like, the gun's loose in the package.
Honey, it's a long story. It's a long story.
Yeah.
Don't
But that's
make
just another thing. I'm sorry.
Don't make it seem like just a little gun. Like, nah, that was a defective schmegma thing.
Well, I laughed because she spent 20 minutes trying to get it back in there. Like, just,
Which actually makes it worse. You actually start, you're like, just no.
I'm like, yeah, good luck doing that.
Well, the worst thing that's ever happened to me is the U.S. Postal Service, where you could register your account there, and then they tell you what your mail is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have that actually. It takes pictures of all your incoming mail. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I have that service. Yeah. Some stuff shows up, some doesn't for some weird reason. I don't know why.
Well, that's the post office. That's why.
It'll just be waiting for something, and you're like, don't send you a picture of it, and you're depressed, and then you go to your mailbox, you're like, hey, I got it.
Well, ever since the pandemic, I mean, it's just horrible. It's
Bastards.
like that shit'll come a week later.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it says 2-day shipping. It should have been there. But
it was like the book from in what country? The Portugal book. Like, remember, you're like, you already got yours. When you ordered yours, you're like, you always say you're the last one to get it.
I'm always last. They see me like, oh, dude. They're like, oh yeah, we got. Oh, it's that fucking Pat Ring guy. He's like, yeah, take it. Here, go put it in the fucking bag. I'm always the last.
The hell with that sucker. The hell with him.
But the thing with the postal service, the thing like you were saying, how your wife is, like, oh, why did you buy another one? If my wife checks that shit and she'll see a package is coming, What did you order?
Oh,
What the hell did you order now? What'd you buy? So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
It is, but you know what though? I try to sell. I've got other passions I'm into that I sell some stuff I'm trying to get rid of to make up for the Halloween stuff because Halloween's #1 stuff. So yeah,
nice.
there's a handful of things I could get rid of. I'm a big wrestling fan too, so I got a lot of wrestling stuff too that I
Oh,
can.
my cousin. Yeah, my cousin is we grew up real close, and he's a huge wrestling. He's got tons of those figures. He's got a whole like I have behind me all Halloween stuff. He's got all wrestling figures and like other pop culture things. He goes to all the conventions and takes pictures with all the wrestlers, like we do for Halloween. That's his thing.
And it's funny. It's like a lot of those fan bases are very similar. The Halloween horror fans, there's a lot with wrestling fans, a lot with music too, especially like metal or
Well, you see a lot of you go to the conventions, you see like especially if you go to like a not necessarily Monster Mania. If you go to like Chiller Theater, once in a while at some of the conventions, you'll see a lot of the wrestling guys pop up, and they're there too. And that's the only few times we've been together because he'll go for that because he's not the horror guy at all. But it's like he goes to all those things, and I've always seen him post pictures, taking pictures with all the wrestlers. And I used to like wrestling a lot when I was a kid, like the Hulk Hogan era, WrestleMania 1.
Yeah,
I used to watch all this. But he started back then. And he just stayed with it. I kind of as I got older, I got out of it.
Yeah, it's my kids have gotten into it, and like it's hard for me to watch. I stick with some of the old stuff, but Halloween's #1 here.
Well, that's the best thing about YouTube is I'll go back and I'll go on sprees of watching like classic matches of like HBK versus Razor Ramon. They had a classic match. Anything that tickles your pickle, man. You can find it anywhere on YouTube, and it'll help you. It'll take you back, man. And
you're a big Funko guy, right? Isn't that one the first episode? Is that the big thing that you get into? Is the Funko Pops?
I do have a good amount of Funko Pops. Yes, they take up a lot of space here. Yes, they do.
They do take up a lot of space.
Yes.
I don't know, Pat. Do you have any of these rare ones or the more expensive ones? Like that market is just it's too much for me with all the variations.
Well, custom ones. I know the custom ones tend to fetch price. The only ones I have are those up here. With the exception of the big 10-inch one, which I have in a different area. These right here are all the official ones. And the Chase one's in there, the glow-in-the-dark Chase one, that's hard to find.
That one's probably like $100 now or something, probably more.
Yeah, that's up there too. Yeah, the Funkos are some cool ones. People are like, oh, you got to get the Kiss Funkos because you like Kiss. I said, I'm not going down that rabbit hole and starting to buy all that stuff. I said, I got to stay focused.
I'm going to show you a couple that I have here. I think you might like them. Let me show you. The lighting is poor over here. Let me bring this light over. So I got a couple of, Jason Voorhees.
Nice.
Oh, is that like an 8-bit one? Yeah, cool.
Yes, it is from the video game. This one is pretty hard to find.
Blue mask.
Yeah, I'll show you. Actually, there's a couple ones that I got signed actually within the last month. Miko Hughes. I got this new Pet Cemetery one, the glow in the dark, signed by him. To Joe.
My God, they made one from that. Wow.
It says, "Now I want to play with you." Gage from Pet Cemetery.
Nice.
I think he used a good paint marker there. Cool.
Oh yeah, man.
Another movie that scared the shit out of me when I first saw it.
This one cost me, I don't want to say how much, but this one was hard to find. This is Nosferatu. He's vaulted and very hard to find. I can't really see it very well. But yeah, the pop collection actually takes up a lot of space, and I find I get joy in it. I have a good collection of Michael Myers pops. I mean, I got the original, I got the Bloody, I got the H2O. I got a couple other good ones, but yeah, pops are kind of they're kind of fun. I got some other ones I can show you. Oh, this is the latest one. This is a Chase Candyman from the new Candyman movie. He's all bloody. He's all bloody. This one was hard to find.
That's a very underrated movie. I was surprised how much I liked it. I didn't expect to like it.
Oh, I love that movie. I thought it was
the new one that came out. I think I checked it out. I haven't seen it yet.
And lastly, I'll show you all this last one. I just picked this one up too. The Chase 40-year anniversary of the Evil Dead. Ash.
Oh, cool.
All bloody variant. So this one was hard to find. This one was pretty cool, man. So yeah, I mean, pops are pretty fun just because there's more of an array of horror. I've already got the majority of all the Michael pops. So for me, it just kind of keeps me engaged.
I only got a kick out of the one that I fell in love with. They made the Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop with the banana.
Oh yeah,
I just thought that was awesome.
I love that movie so much, man. I
Oh
love
God,
that movie.
they made a lot. They making them for everything now. I think the first ones I bought the Mad Max Fury Road ones. That was like the first movie I watched when I had my home theater built over Halloween. Shockingly, oh, I couldn't believe they did that.
You know what? I was curious if any of y'all have ever y'all remember that show Mad Max, the little boy with the backwards red hat.
Isn't that Max Headroom?
It's Mad Max, and he would go on
No.
these crazy adventures. He'd go through like this little time warp machine, and he would go fight like horror villains. You know, like it was like a cartoon show,
It's a
but then
cartoon on what
yeah,
channel?
I don't remember the channel, but I mean, if you Google, it's like Mad Max. But then they would actually release these special toys that they would open up, and it would have Mad Max, and there's a little figurine, and it would be like him in like that world fighting a monster. And I heard those are
Hmm.
very hard to find and very, they're collectible, but they're very hard to find. I was just curious if y'all had them or knew anything
No,
about them.
no, not to check that out. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool. No,
Mad
I haven't.
Max, cool man.
Last cartoons I watched were when my kids were younger.
Got it,
That's
got it.
about it.
Yeah, it's something to kind of tune out nowadays. Even my kids are even growing out at 7 and 8. They got their iPads. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I stand corrected. He's called Mighty Max, not Mad Max.
Oh, Mighty Max. No.
Mighty
Mighty
Max. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought you were going to say Mighty Mouse because that was when I was a younger kid.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that one I remember. I mean, I remember, and it was funny because some of the cartoons I used to watch, my daughter wasn't as big on cartoons. My son used to like to watch cartoons, and some of the ones that they had at the time were definitely for kids, but they had a lot of innuendos that only adults understood.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, which like I'd watch a lot of the SpongeBob. He used to watch SpongeBob and what the hell was it? Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah,
The
Ren and
Fairly Odd
Stimpy, I think,
Family.
too, right?
Wow.
What was the other one he used to watch too? Oh God, I forget. There was a bunch of them, and I'm like, wow, some of the stuff. I'm like, wow, these kids are too young. They wouldn't even understand what that's about. So it wasn't like bad, dirty, or anything like that. But it was nice that they put it in there because they made it tolerable to sit through. It's like, oh, there's something in there for the parents too, so you can sit there and enjoy it. But yeah, it's just I can't remember the last time I've watched cartoons. Like I said, they're older now, and my daughter didn't care much for cartoons anyway. So.
Yeah.
I was surprised that the David Gordon Green, the Halloween, the children's book. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was neat.
Oh yeah.
I was leery at first until I got it, and I thought it was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. I know it's still the subject matter. It's like, how can you call a children's book? But it's still, hey.
And the funny thing is, what I'm waiting for is, if you remember when it first came out, and they were advertising it, there was a short little like advert for it, and they were showing about the book. I'm like, they should just put together a whole cartoon of it.
Yeah.
How freaking cool would that be?
Yeah, why not?
You got
You
enough
can do
idiots. You
that
got three
half
idiots
hour.
right here that would buy it in every format.
You don't have to do a full 90-minute. You could just do like a half-hour one. I'm sure you could trim it down and do a half-hour.
Yeah, I'm like, that would be awesome.
Did you watch the Chucky series, the new Chucky series?
I watched a couple of them.
I liked it a lot, guys. I thought
I
it was
did.
funny.
And the reason I bring it up is because imagine if they did a Halloween series, like, but in the realm of, I don't know. You get so creative with it.
There's been rumors that might be the direction they go in. So
After this trilogy's over, yeah. You know what? You could probably. I don't know how many people would like him in the asylum. That was early talk at one time too. The asylum thing would be interesting, but how far can you go with some things?
The whole idea of Chucky transferring his soul to all these different Chuckies and so on and so forth. There's like, well, evil can transfer itself to anything and everything. So I mean, you can create a whole series just off of the story of Michael Myers, but then you can create all kind of world, a whole different kind of world with that kind of capabilities. You can do whatever you wanted, honestly.
Well, in the Chucky, they connected all those earlier movies. They're all intertwined.
You can do that as well.
I think they're going to bring the kid in sooner or later, which is probably the worst one, I thought, when he had his kid. But
think about an army of Michael Myerses. Imagine that.
Well, you know what? And as I got older, and I don't know, it's a guilty pleasure of mine because you still have a lot of people that really just don't like it. I love Halloween 3.
Yeah.
And as an older person, and like, I would have thought like if they would have went in a way of an anthology thing, it would have been really cool. I mean, I'm glad they didn't in a way because we got a lot more cool Meyer stuff. I mean, just I love it. But if they went in that direction where they wanted to do something again, and because at that time there really wasn't anything like that, so that I don't it would have really it would have been it probably would have caught on better if they were going to do like something like that on TV, like they did with the American Horror Story, which
Yeah.
I love American Horror Story. I think it would go over a lot better now, and that's I know it's very divisive. I talk to so many people, and they're like, especially I know I haven't seen Michael in the chat room, so he might be sleeping because he doesn't feel well, and he just does not like Halloween 3.
Isn't it funny, like how it was despised of like 30 years ago, and it's really grown on me. I think I watched it right around the time of seeing the earlier ones too, and I was like, what the hell? Why is this part of it? They just, they used the name. If it could have just been called Season of the Witch, I'm sure it would have found its fan base, but now it's got a fan base even more than ever.
It would have, because I remember seeing it. I remember vividly there used to be a small theater in this. I grew up in a real small town. I tell everybody, it sounds funny. Oh, you grew up in a small town. If you ever see the movie Copland,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with
that's the town.
Hello.
That's my town. That's the town I grew up in. The town
Oh,
they
no
filmed it in
kidding.
was the town I grew up in Edgewater, New Jersey, right by Fort Lee, right by
Wow.
the George Washington Bridge. So
Wow.
I actually watched them film a lot of the movie because my uncle used to be a police officer, and I remember going and seeing like De Niro and Stallone and Ray Liotta and
that's
all them.
dope,
So they
dude.
filmed it right in my town. I could tell you where everything was in the movie, and so at the time of growing up, it was like that. It was like this small knit little town. Now it's like it's almost like the Beverly Hills of northern New Jersey because all the movie stars and all the celebrities and all the like New York Giants, the Knicks, all realize how close it was to Manhattan, and now you can't even touch property. It's all multi-million-dollar homes and
That's
They come over
condos
the bridge, right, to live there.
right over the bridge. Yep. Because if you ever see Stallone, you see the bridge. We used to ride our bikes down there. It's like a park down there. If you see the scenes in the movie where he's in there right by the bridge.
Yeah.
But there used to be a small theater. It was like a 4 screen theater. And I remember we used to go to the movies. We used to ride our bikes there. I remember seeing coming out, and they had like a big. I'd love to get my hands on it as a collector now. It was a cardboard standee of Halloween 3 of the kids walking like the cover,
yeah.
advertising Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I'm like, wow, cool, because we had seen Halloween 2 in that same theater the year before. I'm like, wow, another Halloween movie, how cool! But that was their downfall. It didn't say anything about not having Michael Myers in it, so we all went and saw it, and we're sitting there and we're watching it. I'm like, all right, this is cool. When I first saw it and the guy was being chased, I was expecting to see Michael Myers chasing him.
Yeah.
If you remember, the old man is running.
He's running, yeah.
From the androids, and I'm thinking, oh my wow, how is this starting? Is Michael chasing? Then you see these guys in suits. You're like, well, what the fuck is Michael Myers? And then then they show up at the hospital, and you're like thinking Halloween 2. Oh, he's in the hospital. Guy walks in the suit and fucking pulls his skull apart. So we walked out of there and we're like, oh, it's a really cool movie. It was a cool concept. I liked it, but why the hell? What the hell does that have to do with Halloween? Because it was never sold as that, where it was going to be an anthology, and that was their biggest mistake. I was like, why don't you tell people?
Yeah,
I still would have went, but I remember, and as a collector, I hadn't even thought of that in years. Holy crap! They had that big stand-up thing there, man. Oh, I'd love to get my hands on that and put that in the collection.
It grew on you over the years, like it did with me, right?
Yeah, I liked it, but I wasn't over the moon about it. But as I got older and I watched it a little bit more, I enjoyed it more. And it's one of the, like I said, I've narrowed down my collection because it was just getting too big. I can't collect every single piece from every single movie because it's just not affordable. I don't have the space. I'd have to put a wing on that freaking house. So if I see something cool from, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, I'll collect it. But most of the stuff I have is Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3, because to me those and the newer movies like H Kills and 2018, because they put out so much cool stuff and it's accessible. So all the stuff in the middle, I collect it if it's really, really cool, but I don't go crazy. Like I'll collect all the vinyl, I'll collect all the VHS, the DVDs, magazines, but there's so much coming out that at some point you have to draw the line. Like, like with Joe, like I give Joe the credit because I just stay with Halloween. You're collecting stuff from all different franchises. I'm like, I could never, I just have to do what I'm doing because it's just going to get so crazy. And so that's why I like you said, I mean, you can see how, there's, H6, there's Resurrection. I do have some stuff.
Yeah.
But I did get rid of some stuff to make room for other stuff, like all the zombie stuff. I've told the story. I had every single thing from Rob Zombie you could think of. I had every single piece because there's not this. It's not too much. They didn't put. They only did 2 movies, and once the movies were done, they didn't produce anything anymore.
Yeah.
And I sold it all because I had to make a choice. Well, I needed the money for other things, so I said, "This is what I really got to focus on because it just gets too crazy."
Yeah,
You know?
we've talked about it in the episodes. All the market for all the zombie stuff is
It's gone through the roof.
Yeah, I always wanted to get the Hobo Myers, but it's not worth it to spend that much money for that figure.
I put it this way: I sold all the Myers, the zombie stuff. I'm trying to remember. I sold it because like I said, the guy that I bought the Halloween 78 35 millimeter print was selling me 2 Halloween 2 prints, original 16 millimeter prints.
Yeah.
And I said, "Can you hold on to them?" I said, "I don't have the money right now, but I'll have it." And then I'm like, looking around, like, what can I sell? I'm like, the zombie stuff for some reason is hot. I hate it like hell to sell because some of it was really cool, but I don't like to talk numbers. But I made a nice enough to get those 2 prints, and then some other money put aside because people were paying. Like I said, told the story of the shirt, FYE shirt that I bought back in 2007. I put it up there. I paid $15 for it. I think I sold it for like $85, just a T-shirt.
That's insane. That's insane.
The Hobo Myers, I got over $200 for it.
Yeah, and were we talking about the 18-inch NECA was a few $100 now?
I sold that for I think $350.
I saw it at a store a week ago for $300.
Yeah, I think I sold for $350.
300. I was like, no, not right now.
So we're closing in on 2 hours, and I'm not rushing. We're cool. But is there any way you can move the camera around so we can see what's behind you, Brett?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just
it looks like you got a great display back there. I'd love to see it if you can do it.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna turn my lights on a little bit more. So
nice masks.
Yeah.
Hey, you got it signed.
Yeah, I had Carpenter sign it. Sorry if there's a glare. There's my masterpiece.
Nice.
Yeah, I think. Well, I posted. I think Pat. Like I was on the 25 Years of Terror, Mustafa Akkad, my poster. They took my video of him signing it, which was kind of cool.
Right. That's right. Yep.
Nice.
These pictures, the company I think went under. Classic Stills. I wish I would have bought them all.
Nice.
Movie Maniacs, Mikey. I love it.
There it is.
Oh yeah, I should probably go a little bit lower. Yeah.
And that's a nice clear one too, because they all really yellowed over time.
Yeah, I have a pretty. Mine's pretty
hey, cool. I've seen that beer.
Yeah.
That was in your hands at one time, my friend.
Yes, it was.
And didn't we just had one of those up on the auction? I think he just sold
he sold one of them not that long ago. Yeah, those go for a pretty penny now too.
Yeah, and then we'll go down here. I got that light up pumpkin from Fright Rags. They only made like 40 of them, I think.
That's cool.
That's nice.
I like the rag. I mean the rug.
Oh yeah,
the rug.
Yeah. This was the one mask I spent a lot of money on. Chris Morgan made it.
That's nice. That's
PKY.
nice.
Yeah, that was the only one I spent a lot of money on. So, and that wine bottle, that's Nick Castle signed that. I got that from one of Sean Clark's auctions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, never won anything on his auction.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy on some of them.
It does get crazy.
I don't know if you heard, that last one he had done, the one girl that was buying a whole bunch of stuff stiffed him on it all. So
I had a funny feeling. It seemed a little weird. She was spending a lot of money.
And this is my favorite thing with my wife and I took pictures at the corner stoop. And then we
nice.
had Laurie Strode sign it and our picture with her from Horror Hound.
Oh, cool. You devil. That's cool.
Yeah. So, and I just got all my videos or DVDs down there. Oh, yeah. There's the snow globe one. I don't know if I'm getting it on video. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, yeah, that's it. I have more stuff in crates, but that's really the important stuff. That
looks nice. It's great.
Yeah. So our big theater room in here. So
I'm just curious, how long was the wait to meet Jamie Lee?
So when they did that at Horror Hound, so she did it for Saturday and Sunday, and she
Okay.
was there. She took her breaks were just bathroom, and she ate when she was signing. So we got there right away. But there wasn't like a time. It was first once you registered, you got your timestamp, and we got there kind of early. My timestamp for Saturday was one of the last sessions, which was fine because
Oh wow.
the last session, anybody that was in there, she did the Q&A at the same time because stuff kept on taking a long time. So yeah, Sunday I wasn't there Sunday, but hopefully I don't know if she supposedly she was going to do one again, and with COVID, I think it changed a little bit. We'll see. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they're
rad.
doing them. They're doing one. I think it's another Monster Mania, if I'm correct, up by me. And I went to click on to buy the tickets, and it turned out March 5th. I'm like, "Ugh, it's my wife's birthday,
Can't
oh,
go.
so it's like, you can't go.
like the Horror Hound in Cincinnati is going to have the people from Kills in it, like the Flashback Pleasance or Flashback Loomis, the Flashback Myers, the nurse and the doctor couple. See,
Mhm.
I'm big into the autograph stuff though. That's kind of I like the convention stuff. So all my posters are autographed. That's the original one's the only one I got displayed here, but yeah, that's a big passion of mine. So I've got a handful of signatures on stuff. Oh, I got one more thing I could show. That's kind of cool.
There you go.
So at Flashback this year, this is the TOTS 2018.
Right?
I probably had it on the website here. I had Christopher Nelson, Nick Castle, and James Hugh Courtney sign it.
Nice.
Oh, you scoundrel.
Yeah.
Looks nice. Beautiful.
But yeah, the TOTS, like out of all the TOTS ones I've seen, I think I've liked the 2018 one the best. But yeah, Michael hasn't sold the 2018 one. I think there were some of the more expensive ones.
I think on Friday he sold the Halloween 4.
That's the one
Yeah.
But
Did
those
you
are
see-
sweet, man. Those are sweet.
Did you see the Terrifier one? Like
Yeah.
I will get the Terrifier one because he does the conventions. I would get that signed. Pat,
Yeah.
you see that movie? That's a crazy movie.
Oh, that movie's twisted. I love it.
It was funny because I remember I watched, somebody was talking about it somewhere, and I watched it, and I was like, holy crap, this is out of control. And it was funny. I'm sitting down rarely, if ever, was my wife sit and watch TV with my daughter, sit and watch TV with me rarely. And I think it was what we were watching. What the hell is the one streaming service?
Netflix.
Hulu.
Or?
Peacock.
No, the horror one. I used to have it.
Oh, I have it. Shudder.
Shudder. I had Shudder at the time, and we were scrolling through trying to, because my daughter loves horror movies, and that came up, and she's like, "Oh, that movie was horrible. It was disgusting." I go, "You watch it?" She's like, "Yeah." She was at her friend's house, and they watched it. She's like, "That scene when they saw the girl in part." I said, "That was the best scene."
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to part 2.
Yeah, that's my real expensive one. The detail, the guy Chris does a real good job.
Yeah, that came out real nice.
Yeah, I
Dude,
don't mess with that one, but
very cool.
Yeah,
Well, guys, we're bordering on 2 hours, so
yeah,
what we can do is we'll definitely. Me, Brett's awesome because you're always in the chat, even when you're not on here. You're hanging out with us, so don't be a stranger. We'll definitely have to have you back again.
yeah, awesome. Thank you. I really have a fun time talking. It's positive, There's just so much negativity. I don't need to go down that road.
No, and you'll never find that here because that's
Right.
not. No, not at all. That's why when Michael and I had originally talked about doing this, I said, I came to him. I said, would you be interested in doing a Halloween podcast? He said, what do you mean? I said, there's tons of them. I said, but there's none about just collecting Halloween stuff. I mean, of course, we're talking about everything related to Halloween and other stuff, but just talking about that, I said, because I mean, if you watch, there's tons of guys on YouTube, and I watch a lot of them too. I said, it'd be fun just to talk about this, meet other collectors, bring people in, and we're meeting awesome people like yourselves. And so don't be a stranger. Where can anybody find you? What's your thing going to be on Instagram now?
It's Brett APEC APEC 81. That's that I've got to follow. I just opened it the other day, but I'm Brett Patrick on Facebook too. So I'll have to look for you guys, and then well, yeah, we're all in the group. Joe, are you in our You're in our collectors group, right? I got to find you.
I think you joined. Didn't you join? I thought I approved it.
I think so. Yes, I believe
Yeah.
so. Yes.
Yeah, because if you're not, you see stuff on there that's It's endless, right, Pat? You see
Wait,
things.
just to confirm,
Yeah.
what's the name of it again? It's
Brett BRETT APEC APEC 81.
got it. APE2C C81.
If you're on there now, I'll have to.
Oh,
You know, and I'm easy on Instagram. That it just think of, like I said, everybody's just like, why'd you name it your thing, that Halloween movie collector? I said, because I was a big a fan of that '70s show. Still one of my favorite shows. And I'm like, oh, that '70s show. I was like, oh, that Halloween movie collector. You're that Halloween movie collector guy, right? Yeah, I love it. You know, not that it's Halloween related, but I'm waiting for the rebooting it and calling that '90s show.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
aren't they
coming out.
filming that, right?
They're filming it now. I can't wait. Because you know what it is? Because if I watch it, like that was me and my friends in high school, like to a T. So I relate to everything that was going on in that show. And every time I watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, been there. We did that. So it was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, if you see it, it's got I got a case of beer on there. It's well, you watched the thing with two heads, Pat. I was the guy that sent them the beers that they tried that they got disgusted. So that's the whole inside.
That was you. That's right.
That's me. So
Yeah,
when they
Christopher
were at
Nelson's
Flashback,
face is like priceless. Every time he's like, what the fuck was that the peanut butter beer?
it was the taffy apple beer.
The taffy apple.
Yeah, so and then I went to Flashback and I brought him an empty can. He's like, "Get this away from me." So then I brought other beers because Sean Clark likes the fruity pebbles. So they tried all these fruity pebble beers and
Yes.
Chris is like, "Get the hell away from me."
That's right. Was that you on the video of them shooting at the convention?
Yep, that's me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't even put you down. Now you mentioned it.
Yeah, I
watched that
I
video.
have my Nick Castle hat on in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
that was. Sean's like, no, you got to bring him. He's not going to be happy to see you.
You ever watch that, Joe? The thing with two heads?
No.
Go on YouTube, look up the thing with two heads. Actually, go up. It's Malfunction, which is Sean Clark. Go look up the thing with two heads and look up the episode. You'll see it's them at a convention, and there's Brett bringing them up these beers. I didn't realize that was you.
Yeah, and Joe, he's pretty much reps all the pretty much almost all the main Halloween people for convention appearances. So
I mean,
I've seen
everybody. That guy reps everybody.
I've seen some videos of him. Like he's shown some of his like personal horror collection.
Yep.
I saw one. Actually, I saw one last night. He was doing on location.
Halloween 2.
Halloween 2. Yeah, I watched that last night. So I've seen some. I didn't know. I'm gonna watch this right after.
Watch all his stuff. The thing with two heads is great. The thing with two heads is him doing a podcast with Christopher Nelson, who was the special effects for Halloween 2018, the whole trilogy, did the mask, and it's a lot of fun. And you want to talk about Halloween collecting geeks like us? It's all about Halloween cool stuff, and it's those guys together are pretty good. So I watch them. And I got to go back and watch that episode now that I know it's you.
Yeah, you just go on. That's kind of like what we're doing right now. They just do it with everything in general. Movies, they just talk about everything in general.
Yeah, it's not just specifically Halloween. It's just everything in general. Because I mean, his collection should be a museum. I mean, he's just got so many amazing things. It's not even funny in that collection of his.
Yeah,
I give him all the credit in the world, and it's funny. We're similar in age, and I get into it probably around the same time as him, but I never even thought to start collecting some of the stuff that he's got. It's just unbelievable.
My first intro to him was I actually watched the documentary The Night She Came Home, and
Yeah.
it chronicled her doing the convention and everything, and I got to see him, and then I started putting two and two together because I started seeing him on videos, and I'm like, hey, that's the dude, and I'm like, oh, he's a collector, and so I've been seeing him pop up more and more as you get more and more into collecting. He's a big figure in the community, man.
Oh, big time. And I used to see him at all the shows too, because he reps so many people. So you see him at a lot of stands.
you do.
Where you're going to get autographs. So I saw him, and the last time I saw him was when
Probably Monstmania, right? Or
was the
outdoor one you talked about where everything was blowing around.
No, not that one. Yeah, where I stiffed Tom Atkins for an autograph. No, it wasn't that one. It was another one after that, and it was an indoor. It was a Pennsylvania horror convention, and it was indoors.
It wasn't in a Monstermania, but it wasn't in Cherry Hill, right? It was in a.
Maybe it was Monster. No, it was Monstermania. That's right. They moved it from Jersey to Pennsylvania. It was right outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Yeah. And I turned and he was standing right. And he's tall. I didn't realize how tall he is. He don't look that tall. Yeah. I'm not short, but I'm not tall. I'm 5'10", 5'11", And I
Yeah.
looked up, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how tall he is because he's usually you never thought of that. But yeah, he was there because who was at that convention? Oh, that was like Aaron Armstrong was there, James G. Courtney, Dick Castle was there, so that's why his bigger people were there, and he was there. And he was there to stand talking to somebody about something, and I was like, oh wow. And like an idiot, I said hello, and he was very, very nice, super cool. And they walked away, and he was busy, and I'm like, I should ask for a picture. What am I, an idiot? But,
Sometimes you don't want to bother these people. See, I get a little. I
I
didn't
was-
even take a picture
yeah.
with them, even with all the joking around I did with them. But
yeah, but he was super nice in person,
Yeah.
just as nice as he appears on the show.
Joe,
But yeah, go check his channel out. You'll get addicted.
I'm already on it.
Joe,
Yeah.
if you ever go back the night she came home, you'll see me next to my buddy that he has the big True Lies picture getting it signed by Jamie Lee with him and Arnold, or her and Arnold on it.
I actually think I know. I've seen you. I saw that. I've seen you there. Yeah,
I know
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
you.
I know you.
I know that guy. I know you.
Yeah. The way I've learned is like, collecting it's not about how much money you have. It's sometimes the people you meet.
Yeah.
Because you meet people you never thought you would meet. You would talk to people about certain things, and there's certain things that just exchange hands. That things go through hands, man, like crazy in this community, and it's pretty cool, man. It's like you never know what you might come into.
Never
Just
know
talk.
what you might run into. It's the same thing like when Pat and I were talking.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, I sold you. I got you those IPAs. It's like, it's like,
Yeah, because I don't know if you know. Yeah, they put out in Pennsylvania, and actually that place that makes it is probably
Pizza Boy, right?
Pizza Boy, but they're about they're a haul. They're not close. They're about 2.5 hour drive from my house. And I had seen it a couple years back in like a place that had a lot of craft beers and and I saw it. I was like, wow, how cool is this? And then somebody in the group posted that, hey, look what I just found. And I was like, oh shit, they're putting it out again. Actually, I reached out to that person. They said, yeah, Pizza Boy has it and they're putting it out. So I called them up and I said, you guys still have that Michael Myers IPA? And they said, yeah, we got a bunch of cases of it. And it wasn't cheap. That stuff. Like I said, I got a lot of flack. People were like, oh, you're charging so much. I go, no, that shit was not cheap. It was like each 4-pack was like $10.
Yeah,
Oh,
craft
wow.
beer.
Yeah, they were not cheap. And so people were like looking at me like I'm screwing people. I go, I made zero money on that, on those fucking things. I was just doing it sheerly for helping people
can't get
out.
it.
Yeah.
People couldn't get it.
Do they still sell it, or do they still sell that?
I think
No,
it's a seasonal thing, right, Pat?
It's usually seasonal. They do it, and they do a Jason Voorhees one too. They
Oh,
do
no,
Friday. They do a Friday the 13th one too. And you know what? I was gonna go there. I was going to take a trip out there around Halloween time to see, and I just never made it out there. But I'll have to check again this year and see because it's actually not bad. Did you drink any of it?
Yeah, we have a lot of. I'm into the craft beer here in Chicago. It was okay.
It was okay. I mean, I'm not a big IPA guy.
Yeah, that's a pretty hoppy stuff.
Yeah,
I think with you, I prefer more of like a lager if I'm going to drink a beer.
I'm a lager type. Like my brother is IPAs all the way. He's like the IPA junkie, and we go out and have we like to go to different like craft beer places, breweries. He's big on that shit, but it's all about the IPAs. And me, IPAs make me thirstier because they're so dry. They make me drink more.
Yeah, and they're a bit boozier too. So you drink one or two, and
Yeah.
you're like, Jesus, I got to go to sleep.
No shit.
Well, look at this. You're sitting here looking at my cup.
Yeah.
This is what's in it.
Oh, is that a craft beer from out by you?
Guinness.
No, it's a Guinness.
All
That's
right.
a Guinness.
Well, I'm drinking a Guinness Nitro Cold Brew.
Oh, there you go.
So
See, strange minds think alike.
that's right, my good friend.
Both drinking
Yeah.
Guinness.
You haven't tried these, if you're, you want to have a little kick, but then you also, feeling kind of tired. Hey, these are great, man. Great to drink.
I don't have to remember those. Yeah, see, my 25 years of Terror Cup is faded. I should have hand washed this thing.
Yes. Yep.
That's the only one I use. All my other cups, though, I don't. This will be my one Halloween cup.
So I went and got I went and bought, I think, three cases. It was almost $100 a case.
Oh my God.
So because all these people were hitting me up and like, can you get it? And then the shipping, the only way I could ship it, if you remember, Brett, was through FedEx. Because the United States Postal Service does not allow you to ship alcohol.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and everybody was telling me, don't worry about it. They do it. I go, I said, I'm helping you guys out. I'm not going to have somebody knocking at my door, yelling at me for arresting me for selling alcohol through the Postal Service. So I went to a FedEx place and said, look, I'm mailing a bunch of this craft beer to friends of mine for Christmas. I said, "Are you? Do you guys do that?" They're like, "Yeah, that FedEx will allow it, but it has to be signed for because
Yep.
they have to make sure the person is of age."
21. Yep.
So I told everybody, what do you want? I'll get you a price. And some of the shipping, as you know, wasn't cheap because you also had to pay for the signature because they had to make sure that somebody signed it. And a lot of people gave me shit. Pat, they're like, "Oh my God, $20 for shipping." I go, "What do you want me to do? I can't do it any other way." I go, "I'm telling you, my wife just walked upstairs. I'll go get her." She's like, "You're doing this and you're not even making a dime on it." I mean, I didn't lose money, but I made zero money on it.
Well, you had to
Because
pack those things because I saw how you packed them. That's
I
actually
packed
how
them.
I packed them when I sent the ones to Sean Clark, actually, because those things could burst too and ship.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
where I work, fortunately, I have access to like a lot of boxes. I work in IT field, so we're always unpacking a lot of like servers and stuff like that. So I have access to a lot of bubble wrap, a lot of boxes. So I used, fortunately, I would have had to buy all that shit, but I had it all for nothing because I just brought it all home from work and
Mhm.
packed it as well as I can. And everybody even said, "Oh wow, you packed it so well." I said, "Yeah, well, I didn't want you paid for it. I want to make sure nothing happened." And but man, and that's another reason. Somebody in the group had brought it up back in August if I was going to get it, and I said if I do, I'm not selling it. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Why?" I say because it wasn't worth the aggravation of doing it.
You might as well
Joe,
just keep the shit
if
for
you
yourself.
want, Joe, I got one can left, so we could message if you want it, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be cool, man. And it's, for me, it'd be like
it's aged though. It's a year old.
you know, if I can kind of get my hand on maybe, I don't know if they sell 4 packs, 6 packs, whatever. I'll pay whatever just to have it for like a birthday present.
Well, if you want to wait till the fall, like I said, for like people like you guys, I would definitely get it for friends. And
Yeah.
I actually did get it for some friends. Like one of my, I have a friend out in California. Him and I grew up together. He's a diehard Halloween. We grew up diehard Halloween fans, diehard Kiss fans, and so I can, and I shipped it to him. So I might go get more in the fall if people are interested, like yourselves. But I just won't be dumb enough to put it on that group and have 30 people, 40 people come. Can you sell it? How much? How much for shipping? Seriously?
Yeah, you work in shipping. Like I work in shipping too. So, and I knew that. No, you're not making any money on it.
No, I didn't. I told everybody. I said, "Look," I said, "No." I said,
Go to FedEx now.
I broke even on it." I said, I simply just told everybody, this is what I said. I remember, I think it was like a flat rate, like it's $10. It's basically what I paid for it, and whatever the shipping is. I said all the packing material, like I said, I got it all from work,
And
and
that's coming at a nice price. All that free, you have to pay for packaging and all that, dude. You don't get
yeah,
that for free at the post office, man.
But the
and it's
delivery signature, that's an extra cost too. Yeah.
well, that's it. I told everybody. I said it has to be signed for, so that's an additional cost at the bottom. It says, "Oh, if you want a signature," and I'm like, "Well, that's what they're telling me by law. I got to do, and it's not worth getting in trouble. So you got to pay for the damn signature."
Hell yeah. Some people
So,
just get too comfortable, man. Some people just don't understand that when you're trying to do them a favor, you give them an inch, they take a mile. I don't like that. I don't.
Yeah.
yeah, and I had no problem doing it. A lot
Yeah.
of I'm not going to knock everybody because there was a lot of people that was super appreciative that I did it, and they were cool as hell. They're guys in the group that I stay in touch with, and it was super cool. Like, "No, thanks for doing it." I said, "No, no problem. I'm happy to do it." But then there was those few that were just like, "Oh no, no, no way, I'm not paying it." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's what it cost.
To
If you
hell
don't
with
believe me, here's the number.
I'm not putting any
Call
juice on this.
Go call Pizza Boys Pizzeria, which is the place that brews it. You ask them how much a 4-pack is. And I told one or two people, I said, go call them up right now, and they'll be happy to tell you how much it is.
But
And
you look
you'll
at any
see.
craft beers, 4-packs, they're that price too. It's all around
Yeah,
here in
it's
Chicago.
not cheap. Yeah, I mean, there's a local place by me that my brother and I go to that's got all great craft beers, and it's not cheap. We have the growlers. You could get the growlers filled and stuff like that. But you know what? As long as it's a specialty thing, it's not something you just sit there just keep gulping like you're sitting outside on a sunny day in the summer. We like to sit and bullshit like we're doing. Like I'm sitting here drinking my Guinness. We're just sitting here bullshitting. I love different craft beers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a funny story. My wife doesn't drink beer, and there's a
Ooh.
brewery about 40 minutes away we went to. I was trying to find this beer that I had at a restaurant locally, and they said that's where they got it from. And my wife's not big on the whole thing. Like my brother and I will go get flights, where you could try the different
Try 'em
beers.
Oh, yeah.
And I told her, I said, just get a flight. She's like, what the hell's a flight? I'm like, they're going to come out with a bunch of different small glasses, and you just pick different beers. I said to make it easier, you can say they'll have different groupings, so you don't have to go crazy trying to fake. They'll say, "Oh, this is a grouping if you like something a little hoppier, different flavors." And if she's listening, I don't think she's listening, but she's just like, "I can't believe you told that story." She's sitting there, she's sitting there drinking them, and she looked like she was like taking the SATs. She was like so nervous, like she was doing something. She's like,
Like
she's
an
taking,
experiment.
yeah, she's drinking. She's like, I'm like,
This would
why?
go great with cheese and crackers.
No, but she looks so. I'm like, there's no test after this. Relax. Just enjoy. She's like, but I don't know. She's just. It was I just had to throw that out there because it was the funniest thing. She had no idea. I mean, I don't know if any of your wives or just or girlfriends or whatever do that, but it was just a look on her face of like she was taking a test.
There's
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
there's a market for barrel aged, all barrel aged stuff. If you've heard, like that's
Mhm.
big here in Chicago. Any bourbon barrel aged beers, secondhand, if you don't buy that stuff right away, oh god, it's like tripled in value.
Oh man, yeah.
Hey, that's another one too. Before we're done, the glassware. I don't really have any glassware, but maybe there isn't too much. There's pretty much all custom made stuff. I might
The
have
glass-
one pint glass.
The only pint glass that I have that's
I got a
is-
Snake Plissken one, so it's a Carpenter one. But
I think the only one that I have, I mean, because yeah, there are a lot of ones that are just like custom made one. I think I'm looking over at the glasses. The only Myers glass, pint glass that I have is the one from the Alamo Draft House that came out,
Yeah, are you talking
oh,
about
from the theater.
the
Oh,
2018 theater one.
Yeah, I have that too. It
Yeah.
came with that magazine, the one that you showed, the one where it's all black. It was
oh,
maybe
no kidding.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look for that.
Yeah, that's the only pint glass I think I have. The rest of, I mean, God, there's so many freaking mugs. It's not even funny. But yeah, I think I'm looking, and then there's all the plastic cups. There's too
Yeah.
many, as you can see. Like every year Spirit comes out with another one, and I'm like another one. How am I
Yeah,
gonna
this
fit
is
on
like, yeah, gotta go to Spirit every year when they open. Those stores open and go rushing. As we know, we posted on the group.
I always buy a damn 4-pack. I can't always just buy one. I always got to buy 4.
Yes.
Those damn cups because they're on the way out. They're on.
Well, and this year and last year was like all the H2, the 40th anniversary stuff. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
It was everywhere.
It's ridiculous.
So what, guys? We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Michael
Yeah.
would be flipping because he'd be paying Matt overtime right now.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I feel bad now. I can
I don't
keep
care.
going like I do.
No, I could talk all night long, and usually Michael's the one that ends it because they close up shop and
Yeah.
and they want to go home. But I mean, we did a lot longer because I honestly had a great time. But I'm happy to meet you and see you in person and talk to you.
Yeah, same here, guys.
It's awesome, and we kept it going because there's no time limit. We're all home. They were on the clock.
I mean, in all fairness, we don't have. Who says we got to stop?
This is
Yeah.
our passion. This stuff.
We
brought up a couple topics. Like I know sooner or later the laser discs one week. I'd love to be a part of that one. And
Yeah, we're gonna do
my dad got a player in the early '80s. We were like some of the early people that had one. So and then all the imported ones I bought. So
Yeah, we're gonna do, like I said, we'll try to do something every week. We this week was magazines. We did books, just so everybody can see what's out there. Like you said, because there's things that I might have had, and somebody said, "Wow, I got to go look for that." And I'm hoping to see something I don't have, and I can be like, "Wow, where can I pick that up?" So that was the main reason we started doing this, and meet cool collectors, and hopefully, I mean, one of these days, maybe we'll all get to hang out at a convention, sit and have a freaking beer, and just walk around. And anybody's ever in the area, I'm still trying to figure out a way to. We're supposed to we're possibly going to Tennessee to see my wife's cousins for Easter. And I was sitting there, I'm on like Google Maps. Okay, how far is Tennessee from San Antonio?
yeah, and that's a drive. Because that's pretty south.
And I looked at it, I'm like,
you're like, damn.
That's a long drive. And I was like, no, we don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, we got to get down to I'd love to see Michael's store, and then I've gone to Monster Mania a couple of times, Pat. So I'll always connect with you then if that's close, not too far from you. So
which one, the Cherry Hill?
I've gone to Cherry Hill twice in the last 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever go, and let me know. Like I said, I've actually talked to other people, and I would say, hey, if I'm going to go there, meet up. Like I said, like one person I'd never talked to, like I said, did recognize me, and I'm like, well, you've never seen my face before, which is scary. But
I know for a fact we bought tickets to Texas Frightmare, so we will be there. You know, barring any major issues.
Where is Texas Frightmare?
Dallas, right?
It's
Yeah.
in Dallas.
In Dallas, the 29th, April 29th to the 1st. And so that's one I know it will be at. But if there's one coming up that's kind of like a central location, something that's maybe we could kind of like, our powers combined, Captain Planet, we can kind of pull some shit off,
Yeah, Joe,
Yeah.
have you been to Texas Frightmare before?
I went last year. It was my first con, my first one, and I got the bug, buddy. And I can't. I'm like all the ones you were talking about with Spooky Empire and all these other ones.
Mhm.
I'm just like I want to try to go as within reason, save money up and go. But yeah, I can't. I got the bug, buddy. I want to keep going.
It's a
Keep
good
going.
show. It was the first I went to. It was Carpenter's first convention in 2010, and I brought like 10 things to get signed.
Nice.
But yeah, anyways,
No, I mean, who knows? If something pops up and depending on the guest list, I don't know if y'all are picky. I'm kind of picky with guest lists, but this one in Frightmare, dude, it's like it's tailor made for me, man. Like
Scream, right?
not yet. Nightmare 3 is my
Dream Warriors, yeah.
it's my because I'm an '86 kid, so that's my favorite Freddy movie, and then of course Dick Warlock is gonna be there. Then the crew from Monster Squad, Wolfman's got Nards, they're gonna all be there. So
Wolfman's got ours. Wow, that's that whole group.
Yeah,
That's
the whole
great.
group. So those three, and then of course the Scream, the Scream cast they just added.
Weren't they talking about doing a remake of that?
Of what?
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
I hope not.
I thought I heard rumblings of that.
I think I think they're all Sean Clark clients too. Most of those guys from that show.
I wouldn't be surprised. If you know what you do, you look up Convention All Stars, look up his company.
That's his
and
company.
You can
That's right.
And you can see the list, and you'd see he's got everybody. Smart guy.
He's got the Scream people, Nev and
super smart guy doing what he did. Super smart guy.
Yeah.
I just found, they just announced just right now. I was checking my phone. The guy who plays Shang Tsung in the original Mortal Kombat movie, he's gonna be there. I'm like, yo, your soul is mine.
If you haven't, Matthew Lillard, awesome guy, very talkative. Cool
He's
guy.
Shaggy. I love Shaggy. I love him.
Shaggy
from 13 Ghosts. I love all those, man. I love all those movies.
So,
hell yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call this just because I actually have work I brought home, which kind of sucks. So.
And you're East Coast too, my friend. So.
No. I'm a night owl, so believe me.
Yeah.
After this, you'll see me trolling on Instagram and my group and everything. I just have some work to do, and so otherwise I'd stay on for another 2 hours. But
night owl too. I worked at Blockbuster for years until midnight, so you know how that goes.
Yeah, so I just have a few things to do, but it was awesome meeting you in person. You're definitely coming back. I know that. We'll definitely have you back on. What we can do is, if you want to go back and forth, exchange, maybe it would be cool to do like a database of collectors we've had, and then maybe what Michael and I could share what we're sharing that week. And whoever's got a lot of the stuff and wants to show it off can join in. Like say you said Laserdisc. If you have a bunch of Laserdiscs, say, hey, we're doing Laserdisc next week. Why don't you come on with us?
Yeah.
Next week you might not have a lot of what we're showing that week, but another collector might, and they can come in and with us and show us all their stuff. So we'll get something cool going like that.
Yeah,
and definitely have you back on.
Set something up. Set up some foundation. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, and what I'm on Instagram if you want to find me. I'm easy to find.
Yeah, I'll since I just started that up because I do want to do what you have done, but yeah, I'm kind of skeptical, like you were saying, but I might just do it anyways.
It's skeptical. Why?
Because did you say a lot of people were asking if it was for sale?
Oh yeah, but it very rarely. It mostly died out in the beginning, and people saw me throwing it up once in a blue moon. But because it's mostly a lot of the same people that are on there, but once in a blue moon, it's died in the beginning. I was inundated with people with offers. I'm like, I'm not selling anything, so this is just you'll see.
Yeah, I look at it as an opportunity to learn about a collection. I mean, for me, it's like
what's out there, right?
Yeah, for the past three times we've done this, I've learned so much in terms of the different things I could look into and get into. There's no room to get bored here. That's the beautiful thing about this shit, man. It's like you can't get bored, and if you're bored, you're not looking hard enough. Damn it, because it's out there.
You're doing good, Joe. Because if I was you, I'd be overwhelmed. Like, oh God, all this.
No, man, it's kind of like it's kind of like, nah, I can't get too vulgar on here, but it's pretty encouraging, man. Like, you know how somebody's at the top of the hill and you want to be at the top of the hill, you got to work your way up, man. And that's the only way. You can't cheat. You got to work your way and pay your dues. And you got to work your way up the fucking hill, man. So I'm working my way, guys, and it's going to take time.
And just realize it's endless. So
Okay.
don't,
Yeah. And you know what? It should be endless, because if you get everything, you'll be like, now what do I do?
Exactly. It's
So
the
tell
hunt.
everybody, like, you want to have everything. I said, in theory, you want to have everything, but then if you get everything, you're gonna be looking around and be like, well, now what the hell am I supposed to do? I got everything.
It makes it fun to collect.
Yeah.
It does.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, well, hey, let's
We'll call it at 2 hours and 25 minutes. Michael would be he'd be on triple time.
Yeah, he would.
Paying Matt.
People be bugging him about his root beer or whatever that is.
So I didn't see him in the chat. I guess he didn't make it in. Hopefully he's feeling better. Hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully he's well enough to do the auction on Friday. So anybody that's still watching, make sure. I know you guys will be there. The auction on Friday night. Hopefully he's got some cool stuff up, and hopefully he feels well enough to do it. That's the main thing. Hopefully he, whatever's going on, he kicks its ass and he's back up on Friday night. And if he is, I'll see you guys then. If not,
yeah, absolutely, guys.
Hopefully see you guys next week.
Great meeting you both. Great time.
Awesome meeting you as well.
Next time.
We'll hook up on Instagram, and like I tell you guys, don't be strangers, man.
Absolutely.
You got it, fellas. We'll be in touch. We'll see y'all.
Stay well.
See ya.